Okay, so that brings us to hopefully a session 45. And it appears to be recording well, which is always a good thing, and now I can ignore the cameras if they freeze too bad.
Sounds like Amris's problem.
Hey, at least there's audio this time.
Yeah. I did notice that, the recording, actually. I was like, oh, this is a bit off.
Hey, I think I had about 3 or 4 that were silent movies.
It was just piano playing in the background, and every time somebody got hurt, just flash screens to gasp. Or a letter equivalent of whatever that music track guy getting hurt was.
Change the end of the replay button to play it again, Sam.
Well, I can pinch music from other things, but...
No, that's more fun.
Plus, I can stick in some Wilhelm screams as well.
Of course. What's life without a Wilhelm scream?
There are many things I can throw in the background.
Not
okay,
cinema,
so,
apparently.
What was that?
Don't worry. Talking nonsense.
Not decent music?
No, that's not what I said. Needs more bulk gun metal than bleach bone.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I can't use licensed products.
Yeah, you'll get YouTube gated.
Yeah, whereas here I'm using stuff that I can use.
Fantastic.
Because I bought the license and I'm allowed to use it.
Yay!
As long as I'm not just playing just the track and nothing else. As long as I'm talking over the track, that's fine.
Ah, fantastic.
Okay, so tonight at the table we have a Stefan. Currently doing the I'm painting miniatures, so he may get paint on his face at some point, which will be hilarious.
Probably
I think he already has, yeah.
Yes, I am playing Rhea, the currently Summer Eladrin, so I'm quite orangey/yellowy kind of in appearance.
And extremely helpful.
So both Trump and not Trump.
Yes, but also very confrontational.
He's the very tall character from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. So he's the tall Oompa Loompa.
Please don't break out in a song.
No, that was the other character. Close enough though. No, this one's gonna pretty much tell you to your face, you know, what they think of you, and not care. But yes, I'm getting used to this whole only being able to use 2 spells thing, and we'll see how it goes.
It's like, I have this repertoire of spells. It consists of this and this. Yes. I have all these other ones, but they don't work.
If only you're a warlock, that would have been perfect.
I know, right? Yeah.
But the warlocks get them back every short rest. They want short rests. And then we have Dave.
Yeah, I am David. I play Plum Goranov, a Ethangarian human barbarian who's awfully fond of horses and smashy, and doesn't have any horses, and doesn't have a lot of smashy right now.
And the hammer got an update.
Great. Just what I wanted and more. More of that stupid hammer.
That's okay. It will do more things for you now.
Can it do less things?
No.
Yeah. Yep, so that's
But it's now currently polite.
Don't care. Can't get rid of it. It'll try and eat my age if I use it.
This is obviously a sign of weakness.
Make a fortitude save, Jeremy. Anyway, yep.
And then online today...
Can I just say that I have subtitles on for Skype, and it told me that David introduced his character as Climbing Reynolds, who was an inhuman finger barbarian.
Fantastic. That's exactly right.
I would almost be willing to change all the details to make that correct, because it just sounds so funny.
I'm going to write a new character sheet right now. Climbing Reynolds. I actually need to write that down. It's a good. I've had a great idea for a character.
So that's your next character?
Yes.
Climbing Reynolds. What do you do? Climb. That's it.
Can I? Yeah, the pencils. Oh, hang on. No, I've got one.
I climb my foes mid-combat.
Comes with one.
Yes.
Okay, so online today we have Jeremy first.
Yes, good evening all. Yes, this evening playing Dimitri Dimitrov, the sage and hero of Caldara / Karameikos, and always helpful and always knowledgeable on what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hollywood specialist of the party.
Absolutely.
Well, you have been here twice now.
That's right. And hey, and his first specialist advice was ignored like most of his advice, so let's go back up.
And the other character we have tonight is played online by Grace.
I am playing Little Miss. She is a human sorcerer, not a wizard. She's historically a pirate, but she's been on an extended shore leave now for adventure and following Rhea for, promise of money and interesting things.
You at least got one of the two?
I don't know, I think I've been managed, you see.
Well, it's not very often you find a place that have a constant sun.
Dimitri could have told her all about it without actually going there.
But look at the tale, she can tell if she gets back.
Yes. And then hopefully she might even be able to explain that she's ridden the waves on both sides of the world.
Grace, could you check your Facebook Messenger for a second, please? Sorry.
I responded.
Thank you.
It is amusing that you asked someone to check, and you're the one who didn't check.
Yeah.
It didn't beep.
It didn't do the thing.
Okay, so last session we had you finally make it to the temple in the Azcan civilization, where you were disrupting the ceremony. You watched one of your characters take a leap from catching fire and catch fire, as he decided to wrestle the king of the Azcans. And after said wrestling, you blew up the top of the tower of the pyramid and then ran downstairs.
Don't forget that also included the wrestling. Also included the death of the king, which apparently culminated the ceremony such that the shadow or whatever, the winged serpent still went up to the sun.
It did. You managed to take out the king, though.
Yep. Might interrupt future. In fact, we took the wand too, didn't we?
You did take the wand.
So yeah, so I might interrupt the next ceremony that's scheduled.
So now just bringing up the map, which I forgot to do earlier. Okay, where did it end up? I know I've got it in here somewhere. There we are. And is that one.
So my recollection of events isn't that we killed the king. My recollection of events is that the staff was used on the king, so he's now like a mind-dead vegetable servant.
That's right.
And then the staff got snapped, which ended the thing and released all the energy into the sky.
That is correct. But you also have to imagine that when the top of the tower blew off, there weren't many people left.
So, yes, the mindless king may also be bodiless as well.
Yeah, but we didn't
We didn't kill him,
actively kill him. He just died incidentally.
Yeah, it was more of a passive killing than an active killing.
He died off screen, it wasn't our fault.
Well, when you throw someone off the top of a very tall pyramid in a bundle of rocks, generally they don't go so well.
I didn't kill him, gravity did. Settle down.
Yeah, I'm sure we could explain that to the folk of the country.
No, I don't speak your language.
Well, you do now with that amulet.
Shit. No blind glass.
That's okay. It only sort of translates your meaning, not your words.
Good.
So when you read things from this, when you hear things from people, you understand their meaning, not their words.
Shit.
So if they're telling you the command words to do something, then that's been translated to something you can understand, not the actual words.
I guess I'm not going to say anything then. Anyway.
Hey, it means you shouldn't accidentally set things off unless you do the Evil Dead version of activating a magical item. You've seen Evil Dead, haven't you?
No.
Well, you sure it's funny.
Is that
Army
Ash
of
versus
Darkness.
Evil? Yeah, shotgun.
Well, it's all that series.
Yeah.
The third one especially.
Yes.
So next time you recover a magical item and are asked to repeat 3 words to avoid the curse.
Shitting dick nipples. Is that right? That's right?
That would be an interesting words to say.
Your grasp of anatomy is concerning.
Okay, so you guys crawl into the top of the tower, down the trapdoor in the priest's quarters, and we start the session with you each being down in this area. Making
Feel free to use the dice thingy if you want.
Thank you. I'm just creating an inbox called Climbing Realms.
Climbing Realms.
Yeah. He's a Fearbulg.
That's great.
But how am I going to make him...
Is he a captain?
What is a finger barbarian, though? That's what I really need to find out.
He's one that only uses his finger in combat.
So he's a monk barbarian.
No. Okay. He's a barbarian,
Could be
but he
that
only
he's
attacks
trying
fingers.
to-
I can show you exactly what a finger barbarian does.
I don't know that I want to know.
Sorry to interrupt, but both of you should know my plant is sitting next to the statue. Please do not touch it.
Okay.
He's very sick.
Too much light, too little light.
I don't know, all these leaves fell off.
Let me take photos and ask somebody who knows.
Put light on.
You should do the same for M.
I did. She doesn't know either.
Which one?
This one here.
This one? Uh-huh.
My Aeonian.
Okay. So yes, you have... All of you have entered the pyramid, including characters who are no longer... who aren't at the session tonight yet.
Well, and including our 2 guards and would-be slaves.
Yes, that is correct. The
I'll ask
pile
her
of
now.
you have gone down into the area, and as you get down, you hear the grinding of the trapdoor shutting, realizing there's no mechanism on the inside to open
I
it.
was not experienced it from Japanese people so many fucking times.
Okay.
Yes. I worked with a whole bunch
Can
of
we
Japanese
Oh wow.
jam the mechanism in such a way that it
You
also
do have your
can't be
character.
opened from the other side?
Well, there was no ladder on the inside. You pretty much had to drop 15 feet into the area below.
Okay.
And once the last person had dropped down, the mechanism up top basically moved, and then the door shut.
What have we dropped down into at this stage?
You have dropped down into a large chamber, it appears, with no light source.
Well, Dimitri's got his goggles on.
You can see there are little stone buildings inside this level, mostly built up to the roof of the level. So the buildings are about 10 feet tall with a little angled roof above. So you can technically climb all over the buildings here.
Okay.
And all of them seem to be made out of wood.
Climbing Reynolds would know how to get out of here.
He would.
If only we had such a superhero.
And look, you could unlock all the doors with a finger.
I'm pretty sure that Climbing Reynolds, the Finger Barbarian's way of unlocking doors is just to...
Give him the finger.
Yeah.
Well, of course you've seen, Kill Bill and the finger punch.
Well, actually, I was thinking more if you've seen Helsing. Alucard's just like... body. Anyway, sorry. Finger Reynolds, what a...
And all the wooden buildings are draped in cloth dyed black and red, and the stone is and the floor is a black stone that you're walking on. Absolutely nothing like the map I have beside me, which uses. If I didn't actually pull out the camera.
Nice.
I can't see.
Now let's see. Does my camera come back?
Not yet.
Yeah, I've got to kick it. Okay. This might break some of my other video.
Oh no.
Not the video.
Oh look, I got myself back. Now the other one's still working.
Yeah, seemingly.
They seem to be working.
They are.
All good.
So somehow I managed to do it and not break everything. How did that happen?
Although, your dice tray camera is obviously frozen.
There you go, just for you, Jeremy. So you can see that they've given me a nice color-coded map to show that everything really does have this black floor outside and these brown buildings.
Right.
So that's the inside of the pyramid. And don't worry, I'm sure those little red dots around the outside are actual skulls with no actual meaning whatsoever for you to worry about.
Oh, goody. That's right then. And they're not watching us at all.
No, not at all. I'm sure it's just your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So the near you do hear well, actually, you would normally hear stuff, but unfortunately, with the ceremony going on, most of the things that are normally heard here are currently dead.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully, they're not making as much noise.
No.
Good. Because let's face it, if they were still making noise, there'd be problems.
Well, yeah, there would be. So, you see that the first building to the left seems to have wooden cots in there. Seems to be set up as a place where people can rest.
Yep. Okay, but otherwise empty?
Otherwise empty. You think they may have been sacrificed.
Right.
So the the building to the right as you come in, seems to be a prison cell set up with iron shackles and set up to hold prisoners, slaves, or other things for religious ceremonies, and it's currently empty.
Okay.
Which you would expect wouldn't be the case in a place like this. You'd expect they'd actually have slaves here.
Well, just burn them all.
And then all around the outside of the room are skull racks, which so you actually can see all the skulls staring at you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, lovely.
Marvelous.
So tiers of wooden racks resembling stairs line the outside walls of the level and are filled with hundreds of skulls of previous victims.
Souvenirs?
Those who have gone before.
Mm-hmm.
And you think these are specifically for the victims of the current rites, and you can quite easily see hundreds of skulls just in the racks nearby.
Right.
Well, considering a skull is roughly about a foot high in standard dimensions, and the racks go from the ground all the way up to the ceiling, which is 15 foot high. So there are 15 skulls in a one column, and the skulls go quite a bit down. So it's at least 40 feet in each direction for one side of the pyramid. And you believe it goes all the way around this level, from what you can see. Looks as if they might have filled all the spots.
Can we hear if anything is above us trying to open the door again or anything like that coming at us?
Well, you think that the people who knew about how to open the trapdoor, which you figured out, were actually on top of the tower.
Okay. So we're not expecting any immediate issue.
No, most people who would be coming up here to enact vengeance would be then confused as to where you went.
Well, they never knew we were there. So okay. Except for Simply Red. And maybe one or two others made their appeal coming.
You did have a few people go in and go to bat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so besides the racks of skulls everywhere, with lots of skulls, you do see the area that seems to be set up as a storeroom. Inside you see a variety of objects ranging from flint knives, obsidian blades, stone urns, torches, ceremonial guards, and a crystal skull.
Something that I think won't work, but I'm sure. Does Mage Hand actually work here?
You haven't tried it, I believe.
Okay, I'm going to actually do a quick try of Mage Hand with the intent of taking one of the knives or something, the flint knives from the storeroom, and using Mage Hand to jam it up into the trapdoor's mechanism just to ensure that there's no one following us. But Mage Hand being conjuration, I'm not entirely certain. It talks about being a spectral floating hand. So.
Okay, so are you using your diamond to assist with this?
Not initially, no.
Okay, in which case it doesn't work.
Doesn't work, yeah, okay. So, yeah. No, I'm not that worried about it yet. So.
Hey, it's only a 1 in 20 chance of it causing problems for you.
I can see that. Yeah, okay. I haven't tried using the diamond too much for spellcasting, so yeah, let's see how we go.
Okay, so you use the diamond. You feel the influx of the god energy going through you as your hand picks up the dagger and jams it into the stone.
Okay.
You think that the obsidian blade you've used would probably be far more resistant than any pittance you could put into place.
Okay.
Well, it's local make.
Yep.
And your pittance are not.
That was part of the reason why I was looking for one of the... Did you hang on yet? If they've got some stuff flying around. So... Yeah.
At which point you hear the door start to grind and then hit the dagger and stop.
Do I hear any curses or anything like that in response to the door not moving?
No, because they're you've got enough stone between you and them. You can't hear them.
Okay.
Because it's not a small door that opened.
Yep. And let's face it, it's not like these guys make precision stone walls and doors that are only 5 mil thick.
Well, you don't actually see any seams in the stone around you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying you, not precise, but yes, not thin. I'm sure they do it for insulation properties.
I'm sure they do. It helps keep that sound echoing.
I don't think so.
Well, all they need to do is drop down a sonic grenade and they're fine.
Because we've got sonic grenades.
Sonic damage is a thing.
Needs a screwdriver.
Is anyone else doing anything particular at this time?
Plyman is
No.
concerned.
Watching you use Mage Hand.
So, did anyone want to pick up any of the
Sure,
stuff you
no,
saw in the storeroom before looking into the other rooms?
The what stuff in the story?
So what did
So
we find
there
in the
was the-
storeroom other than the flint knives?
There were flint knife, obsidian blades. So the obsidian blades come in short sword, daggers, and they seem to be well crafted.
Dimitri will mention to those that tend to use weapons that there's a fair chance these may be more effective against locals here than any weapons that we brought in. Admittedly, they're still going to be small weapons compared to what a lot of people might use, but... But as you would have noted, that sometimes your weapons don't seem to be working quite so well since we got down here.
Yeah.
These ones will probably work fairly normally.
The only thing I could use is a dagger, because they don't have crossbows in this world.
Well, they do have it in the world, just not here.
Why do you think that these weapons will work normally? And what do you mean by normally?
Well, as in, like, because these are local weapons, they should work effectively against locals.
You don't have disadvantage on attack rolls using these weapons on locals.
No, I as a player understand that.
Yeah, no, that's right. But and this is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I suspect that the only person that might be impacting is probably going to be Plumman in the sense of the sort of weapon he uses. But then potentially, I'm sure Whelm can overcome anything like any of those sort of minor issues anyway. So
Whelm can.
Great.
Whelm doesn't care who they are or where they're from. It happily hits everyone the same.
Especially goblins.
I'll take the obsidian dagger.
Halflings?
Halflings as well as giants.
Oh yeah.
You pick up an obsidian dagger?
Yep.
Okay. You hear something in the back of your mind going, yes, master.
Suck shit.
Okay. Don't I already have something in the back of my mind?
We've got another thing now, so everything's getting crowded.
There's going to be full conversations between weapons with you.
That's fine.
It's not like it's not happened before.
I'm sure Wave can beat the shit out of this obsidian dagger.
Well, it's not an artifact.
There you go, see?
Might have the soul of somebody in it.
Obviously a slave if it's calling him master.
That's fine, I'll just set it later.
But do you tell anyone that you hear voices?
Nope.
So the as you say, you might sell it later, or you think that the dagger goes. You can sell your soul any time you wish. Just say so. And make your wish.
I'm gonna put the dagger back.
Okay, you put the dagger in your belt.
No, I'm gonna put it back.
Yep, it sits back in your belt.
No, but what? What? I'm trying to put it down.
Give me a will save.
Damn it!
Attack it with wave.
Oops, sorry.
Well done.
I'm gonna re-roll that. There we go. That's shit. Was it wisdom you said?
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's 12.
Okay, so you happily put it back on your belt. You've dealt with that. That's no longer a problem.
Fine. I will keep the dagger for now.
What do you mean keeping the dagger? You put it the other side out of line.
Did you do? But the subtitles told me that he told you to attack it with wife.
Speaking of, can I have a look at that silly weird dagger thing?
Which?
Well,
The dagger on it that you just picked up.
There's more here that you can collect.
I just put it back.
No, can I have a look?
Okay.
Hold out.
Dimitri will go and
Where
look
is
over
it?
runes.
On my belt currently. I will appear confused, pull it out of my belt and hand it to you.
And give me a will save.
Oh. Ugh, stop rolling outside of the box, Steph. That's even worse. That's
not
4.
great.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's a miss at least.
That's not going to be it.
That's like a...
With advantage.
There's no point using the dagger to attack Plumman. He's not a native.
Oh, for crying out loud. That's a 20. Non-natural.
That's a 20. Okay, so you stab it right into Playman's hands. Middle of his palm.
I'll just go... I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'm really sorry.
I will take a sidestep.
Mm-hmm.
obviously withdraw my hands from being stabbed.
Still got the dagger in it.
You mother. I'll pull it out.
Strength check.
Can I?
Yeah, feel free.
And you hear a voice in the back of your head going, "Thank you."
19.
Okay, you can feel it trying to pull your bones out with it.
What the fuck? Okay.
Seems to be stuck in your hand. You think if you do manage to pull it, you're pulling your hand with it.
Oh, angry Plumman's getting angrier. One hand.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something like a table? An anvil would be perfect, or something of the like. Near me, a hard surface, a horizontal surface.
Okay, so near you is a stone urn, some ceremonial garb, a crystal skull, and a flint knife. There is not too far away. Not too far away, you can see what appears to be a religious room with appears to be some sort of altar.
Yeah, just pull it out on the altar and see what happens.
Oh, Plumman's getting pissed. All of these items, are they on anything? Are they on a table, or are they just lying on the ground?
The ones were basically sitting on shelves in a room.
Alright, going up to that shelf, one of the shelves.
Yep.
Like, is it... The idea is, knife, shelf, hammer time.
Okay.
We're doing that.
Okay. Give me attack roll.
With the idea of the hammering it through your hand, out of your hand, or just sideways to your hand?
Hammering it as in flat, so
Okay, yep.
much like an anvil, smashing
Yep.
the thing. Oh, I don't have Whelm listed. What is my proficiency? 3, 5, 8, 24.
You hit it quite soundly with a big thump, and you can feel like as if someone just punched you in the hit you in the arm with it. You can feel the bruise going all up your arm.
So I rage and do it again.
Okay.
Is there any damage
Yeah.
to the knife?
No.
I look to...
Your hand looks as if you've just struck your hand instead of the knife.
I look to Whelm. If ever you can prove yourself, now would be the time. Destroy this knife. And prove to me that you are worth carrying.
Okay, roll a d20.
26.
Okay, well, just
18.
18. Okay, so you see the dagger crumble in your hand as Whelm just lights up with a bright light.
Dimitri will pop his head back in the room again and say, "What are you guys doing?"
And you see that you now got this scar, the shape of the dagger, cut in your hand.
I look
You
to
can
the
sort of
weapon.
feel parts of the dagger in there, but the rest of it's gone.
What are you waiting for?
I look to Dimitri. Do not touch any of those items or weapons.
Oh, I didn't. I
Not
just
even-
said the fact that they'll probably work better against the locals.
Not even the crystal skull.
They work better against me.
What were you using the weapons on you for?
Wasn't. A certain somebody has no force of will and couldn't resist a dagger trying to attack me.
Well, you did say you wanted to have a look at the dagger. You got a good look at it.
Actually, I was gonna smash it just as he was holding it.
Probably could have done it in the first place.
Well, I'm just happy to help you, sir.
Plumman begrudgingly thanks Whelm.
Dimitri will keep moving around and see what else we can find.
Okay, so is Dimitri interested in ceremonial urns or garb or torches or skulls?
No, like in the room with no. Okay. After he told them the fact that the weapons might be useful, he basically walked out thinking, well, there's not much else in here that's immediately of interest. So, although crystal skull, Might sound interesting.
You have seen Indiana Jones, haven't you?
What could possibly go wrong?
I've seen the 3 Indiana Jones movies, yes.
Jeez, this is a fantastic idea.
You know that they've actually got a 5th one on the way.
Yeah, I know. So on the second poke of his head back into the room again to find out what the cover was, he'll notice the crystal skull and take a closer look.
Okay, so apparently it is an entire skull that made out of crystal. It doesn't seem to have been carved or worked with in any tool you can see. And it seems to be made from a single piece of crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And give me a wisdom saving throw.
Mm, 16 plus 21.
Okay, as you're looking at it, you sort of look into the eye sockets of the skull and get a numbing sensation for a moment before you rapidly turn it away from you.
Smash!
Okay, yeah.
Actually, sorry, let me preempt
turn
that.
away and back away.
No, I stall for a minute and I realise something's up. Oh, smash!
You want to hit the skull?
Yeah, no, I hit the. There's no want. I'm hitting the skull.
So Jeremy, are you letting him hit the skull while it's in your hands?
Hey, I never said I picked it up. I said I was looking at it.
And he never said it isn't in your hands. Is it in his hands?
No.
Well,
Does he appear slightly mesmerised by it?
If it was in my hand, or if it was just sitting on the shelf still, whichever way, as soon as I felt it trying to look at me back, then I would have either stepped away if it was on the shelf or dropped it if it was in my hands.
Okay, so you step away from it as Playman hits it with his hammer.
Sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. I do apologise. With a fairly decent perception roll, does Plumman realise that he's a little bit mesmerised by it?
Well, he seemed to have stepped away from it.
Smash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yes, and there's this loud clang sound as you hit it with the hammer. Sounds like you hit a bell.
Hey, if you hit it 4 more times, might summon the devil.
For whom the bell tones.
And as you lift the hammer up, the skull has turned to face you.
I'm about to play a game of golf. I hit it away.
Okay. Give me another attack roll.
You have a hammer. It's more like croquet than golf.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Like,
I was going to say, and besides, it's more croquet, really.
Well, when we're talking about the distance required, I'm going with golf. I actually think I'm going to miss that. Hey.
Especially if it dodges to the side.
At which point, I'm running. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Okay, it doesn't dodge. You hit it square on the front. Clang! It doesn't move.
I speak to Whelm. Do you know what's going on here?
Whelm says, yes, you seem to be striking an artifact.
Why isn't it dying? Why isn't it exploding? Why isn't it going away?
I am not the destruction point of that artifact.
Also, what the hell was that dagger?
While
it was a something that would have killed you.
Well, I'm glad you helped me there.
While Plumman is being distracted in his conversation with Whelm, Dimitri's going to have another look back at this skull, thinking that, hang on, it's just been hit twice by Whelm, and apparently he's not in several thousand pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So, aiming to look at it without from the rear, so therefore not actually looking at its eyes, he's going to be examining again to see if there's any evidence of Whelm's contact.
Not a scratch. Looking at it, it doesn't look at. It looks. You can see the shelving around it is damaged, but it's unharmed in any way.
grab a rag, throw it over it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, would it fit in the stone urn?
It would fit in the stone urn.
I feel like you're assembling a Megazord here.
No. That's when I dropped the dagger and threw it on top of it, you see.
Okay, so you lift, you open the stone urn, it's currently empty. You pick the skull up and drop it in the urn?
I think that's disconcerting, yep.
Okay, you drop it in the urn and put the lid on the urn.
What the fuck?
Yep. We'll come back for it.
Okay.
Turns out the urn is actually just like an urn of destruction, and you've destroyed the artifact.
Go, Grace.
While I'm observing all of this, and he goes to put this thing in the urn, does he actually drop it?
He does drop it into the urn, you see it fall in. And you hear it hit the bottom of the urn, landing in a pile, and a bit of dust flies up as it lands on some ashes. I'm assuming you put the lid back on the urn, Jeremy?
Yep.
Okay, as you put the lid back on the urn, you can hear the lid rattling.
Is the urn actually moving, or is it just the lid?
Just the lid at this stage.
Okay.
If only we had that sword. The artifact, that sword. That thing killed everything.
Including its owner.
Someone gave it to a dragon.
Yeah, that was a great idea, wasn't it?
What could go wrong with that?
Black Razor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's fully detailed now as well.
Great. I can't wait to see that thing being wielded against us again.
By a dragon.
By a dragon.
Oh, it won't be a dragon. He
Probably
traded it for something else.
Great worm.
He didn't want it. He just wanted something that someone else who wanted that had.
Yeah, he traded it for a Terrascue.
No, that would be a good thing to show you. Hey, look at my pet.
Pass.
Okay, so Jeremy, you've got the what appears to be a sort of offering room with a altar, and that had a shield and some sort of stick sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Shield and a stick. Cool.
Yep, a shield and a stick.
Yeah, well, I'll have a look around the altar and stuff, and just see if there's anything else of interest in the room.
Okay.
I'm not particularly interested in a shield and a stick. Any secret compartments or something in the altar?
No, it just appears to be a place for storing things for later.
Okay.
Further on, you find what appears to be a room set up for writing.
Ooh, this is more useful. Okay, yep.
And you find a lot of reed paper, papyrus.
Oh, papyrus. Yep, I will look through and see if there's anything interesting on the paper.
Okay, give me a intelligence check. You can add your Hollowell bonus to it.
Ooh, okay. +4, 17.
Okay, looking at it, it seems to be discussing the changes to the society as dictated to by their new king, and how they were going to change their cultural identity.
Uh-huh.
Which, as far as you can tell, is something that can't happen.
Okay, that's certainly not something that should be happening. I will certainly be gathering up any information or bits and pieces that I can on that sort of topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, the big thing in it was they were going to sacrifice everything. There was going to be no one left living by the time they finished their sacrifices.
Okay. And just confirming, does it look like this started with the goblins coming down?
It started after the goblin came down.
Yeah.
And once they started the ceremonies, each ceremony made it easier to change the culture.
Okay. Does it explain what happened? So, does it talk about the winged serpent or anything like that going up to the sun?
Well, it talks about the winged serpent going up to the sun and how everything the king says afterwards is just so much clearer. And everyone's supportive of the changes around that time.
Oh, okay. So you mean like describing the fact that whilst it seemed odd initially, people are becoming more and more accepting of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Does it talk about what's supposed to happen? Like because presumably the winged serpent and that image is the minds of the people that are being stolen in some way. Does it talk about where they go to, what effect they're doing?
Well, it says that they're going on to the god to help pave the way to a better world for his people.
And the god is Agantiotl in this case, I'm assuming?
That's who they believe they're worshipping.
Yeah, okay. I will certainly be gathering up this information and
anyone who disagreed with the ceremony became the first people to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Does it talk about any of those first people who were disagreeing specifically, like who they were?
They were other priests, the former high priest.
Right. Okay. So it wasn't actually. So the king wasn't always high priest, and he took over. Okay.
Well, the high priest just didn't see things his way, and he was king after all.
Indeed, no, that's fair enough. Okay. But like it was also sort of the other. Well, okay, not unreasonable for king to be high priest of a religious society, but he wasn't always high priest, or at least he wasn't high priest until a few weeks ago.
Until a few weeks ago, that is correct.
Right. Okay then. I'll certainly take a good look around the room, see if there's any other bits and pieces or information papers that I missed.
Okay, so you do find discussions on Atziotl as the true avenger who attacks with tooth and claw, the bastion of strength, and that the hawk, which is a symbol of Atziotl, is the pretender who flies from danger and the symbol of weakness.
And do these writings, are these equally recent writings or are these long-term writings?
You think they're the long-term beliefs of the people. So Jaguar is the symbol of Atziotl here, as the main symbol, and hawk is the main symbol of Atziotl.
Yeah.
One of the rooms nearby has some more details, with the door carved with a figure of a man extending his hand to another man, with the idea that the reward the weak with death, and the suffering of the helpless with their destruction. A trusting man is an ignorant man.
Okay.
So basically, if you are trusted, then you should pretty much be sacrificed.
Or if you're too trusting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the next one you see here in these is a symbol of compassion that appears to be one of the virtues deemed important by Atziotl.
Okay. Yep. So we seem to be getting a few descriptions of what are virtues for the gods, but the virtues are definitely interpreted in different ways by each of the gods.
Yep. And then another one has a doll with a carved figure of a hand clutching a stalk of corn, And the interpretation they seem to have here is, give freely to the priests of Atziotl, for their need exceeds yours. The destitute and the poor have earned their own misery and deserve only contempt. Your life belongs to the true patrons. Give it gladly if asked. Whereas the Atziotl interpretation of the same door is charity.
I was going to say generosity or something, yep.
Yeah. So you believe that the symbols have, gone from the same culture and been reused and interpreted.
Yep.
And the last one in the study area has the symbol of a figure of a hand clutching a sword. And the current interpretation of that appears to be self-sacrifice is foolish, unless so ordered by the true patron or his agents. The wise man will not risk his safety for the weak or the useless.
I think you can follow that one.
Whereas the original interpretation appears to stand for courage.
Mm-hmm. Okay then, yep. Certainly, yes. Dimitri's interested in the fact that obviously from a historical cultural perspective, that the religion and faith of Oxyotl has certainly been supplanted by Axantiotl, but like often happens when they try and supplant another faith, they try and keep the same ideas but just reinterpret them.
Well, from what you understand,
a bit like Christianity taking over paganism and keeping all the same celebratory dates.
From what you understand of Hollow World culture, they can't abandon any of their icons or belief system, but you can reinterpret them.
Yeah.
So corrupting a belief system is the only way you can take over a belief system.
Yeah. And certainly recently there's been a hell of a lot more corruption of the belief system, and it's happening a lot faster than it should be.
And it's also going outside the bounds of the belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't seem to be possible based on what you were told previously.
Yep.
Okay, so the last two areas you find is a doorway with stairs going down, and a medicine room full of different jars. You can. It smells like a medicine room because you can smell all the different fragrances as you enter.
Well, whilst I'm sure Simply Red will be interested to look through, Dimitri's also interested.
Okay, so you find a jar with brown flakes of tobacco in it.
Okay.
You find
Could you stop my pipe?
Well, it would work with your pipe.
Well, I'm simply saying that in the context. I don't think I've ever had Dimitri actually be a smoker of a pipe.
Though there is an actual common magical item that is a pipe of smoke monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Add tobacco and it's just, works. Okay.
Kennedy, on the other hand, would quite happily take the tobacco.
That is true. Because he'll just eat it.
Okay.
There is flasks of clear liquid, which has the smell of dead fish.
I'm sure it's delicious, and I'm sure it's medicinal, but I'm not that sick right now.
And there's a jar of black paste. Smells like charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
And there are green incense sticks.
That sounds or smells beautiful, I'm sure. So, yes, but none of that is particularly interested to me. I don't know if anyone else is interested in any of that sort of stuff, but...
Does anyone want, strange and rare herbs to apply to people at later stages?
No.
I'm sure Simply Red will get them all.
Simply Red will definitely want some of that.
Okay, mark down for Emirates that he has grabbed some incense sticks, jar of black paste, flask of clear liquid, and jar of brown flakes.
Tobacco, in fact, that's the last one. Dimitri was able to recognise the tobacco. He might actually be able to recognise the other stuff, but...
Well, being a halfling, he might even recognise what sort of tobacco it is.
True.
It is a pastime of the halflings.
Although, I suspect it's a local variety that he probably hasn't come across that often before.
Might have lore from when it where it came from, because you are in the region they used to be in. Okay, so. Okay.
Was it a jar of clear liquid or a bottle?
It was a jar of clear liquid. No, a flask of clear liquid.
Yeah, it was a jar of brown plates, I think.
Yeah, a jar of brown flakes, a jar of black paste, incense sticks, and the flask of clear liquid.
So everyone else has been happy for Dimitri to be spending time wandering around place reading all these writings and stuff?
Plumman's actually going to follow you around and smash anything that looks like it tries to ensorcel you.
Right.
After being stabbed.
Let's be honest, at the moment, Dimitri's probably the most valuable member of the party.
What do you mean, probably?
At the moment, Dimitri.
and at the moment. Like, that was the other part of the question. Dimitri's obviously always the most valuable member of the party.
Still playing, I'm just going to lay down for a bit.
Oh, good. Okay, so you find the doorway with the stairs down. You can see through the door, which is interesting. It seems to be made out of stone. And there is a jade sphere on a pedestal next to the door.
So, so we're talking a stone pedestal.
Yep.
How big are we talking about?
The stone pedestal rises about 4 feet off the ground. It's about a foot wide. The has a jade sphere sitting in the top of it. You think you just need to touch the sphere and the door will open.
Okay. I will touch the sphere and see if the door opens.
The door does open. You feel the door, the vibrations of the door opening. You see the door is about probably about 5 foot thick.
Mm-hmm. As soon as the doors open a crack, I'll see if I can see through and see if there's anything on the other side. But
well, considering you could see through the door itself, you see nothing different.
Right. So what was on the other side of the door before I actually tried to open it?
Stairs down.
Oh, stairs down. Okay. Does the jade come off the pedestal?
You want to lift it off the pedestal?
I'll see. Yep.
Okay, it's fairly heavy, but as it comes off the pedestal, the door starts to shut.
Okay. I'll put it back down on the pedestal.
Door starts open again.
But this is both opening and closing is fairly slow, is it?
Yeah, it is opening and closing fairly slow. So if the door was fully open, you think you could quite comfortably take the orb and walk into the room.
Yep. So, well, that's the plan I'll be recommending to the others, that we let the door open and then move through, and last person, Dimitri's happy to wait to be the last person, take the sphere with us.
Yep.
Because obviously that'll make it presumably harder for anyone to follow us. So.
Regardless of whether it makes it harder for people to follow us, little miss us all for taking that spear.
Hey, jade in this section of the world is priceless. It is the most valuable commodity in the Azcan region.
And particularly considering if this was it was described as a heavy sphere, I'm guessing it's quite a lot of jade.
About 75 gold worth of jade.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of jade.
I'm not very jaded at the appearance of this much jade. Sorry, had to do it.
Yeah, fair enough, too.
Okay, level 2. Where's my level 2? I've got it here somewhere. There we go, level 2 is a little bit bigger than level 1. That's nice to know.
We're going to get a pyramid, so that's probably not surprising.
Well, level 3 looks to be smaller than level 2, so I was a bit surprised. But that's okay, I think level 4 makes up for that.
Oh, goody.
Well, when you get to level 5, you might be disappointed.
Trapped on level 5 of robot hell.
But level 6 is definitely worth it.
Oh, goody. I'm sure we'll look forward to it.
Okay, so as you all move through and you pick the sphere up and carry it, you notice there's no recess on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not sure anything you could stick in there would stand up to the door shutting.
I was going to say, no one ended up grabbing one of those or holding on to the obsidian or flint weapons, did they?
No, you shoved it into the...
I shoved one up in the top there, that's
yep.
right. But
and another one was shoved into Playman's hand.
yes. All the rest stayed in the storeroom. So.
They did.
Well, I mean, the point is that if there's nothing on the other side to apparently open the door, then we could have gone through. There was nothing to, whether we left the jade thing behind or not. So.
Yep. You think that's part of the design is you can only go one way?
Okay. And that's down.
Yep.
She said down.
Okay, so as you come in, you find yourself coming out off some stairs that spiral around and out onto a platform.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll move you onto the platform. We'll have a good look. And
trying to understand the description of it because it doesn't seem to match the picture, which is nice.
Oh, goody.
Okay, so you find yourself in a room with 2 doors and 3 pedestals.
Right. The same as the pedestal that was holding the jade sphere?
Yep, but no jade sphere in them.
And there's 3 of them this time?
There are 3 of them, yes.
There wasn't a door at the base of the stairs or anything like that, was there?
There was no door at the base of the stairs.
Okay. I kind of thought maybe there were 3. If there were 3 doors for the well, I will take a look around the room and take a look around the pedestals and see if there's anything of interest that can be found. Do the pedestals appear to have a depression in them where the sphere would normally sit?
They do.
Well, if I look around and find nothing else of interest, can we open the doors with like, is there any mechanism on the door? Obviously. Okay. We're talking the 5 foot thick stone things again.
You're talking the same sort of doors you encountered earlier, and you think they've been designed specifically for someone to drop a sphere in to open the door.
Yep. Okay. We'll try putting the sphere on one of the pedestals then.
Okay, you see the door to the left slowly start to open.
As soon as it starts to move, now I'll take the jade sphere back off again.
And it starts to shut.
Okay. Now, are these stones see-through? Are these stone doors see-through as well?
No, they're not.
Okay. Okay, I'll put it back on the same pedestal and again take a bit of a look through the gap as it starts to open and see what we can see.
Okay, you see a corridor that turns to the right, and you can see another pedestal off into the distance.
Okay. I will try putting the stone into one of the other pedestals.
Okay. And you see the door to the right start to open instead of the one to the left.
And does one to the left start closing?
It starts closing, yes. As soon as you lift it off, the other one starts to close.
Yep, okay. So looking down to the right, what do we see?
You see it ends in a T corridor where it goes left and right.
Okay. And what happens when we put it into the third pedestal?
Okay, when you put it into the third pedestal, both doors open.
Okay. So when the door on in fact, both doors effectively fully open, I guess. And so yeah, so looking down the corridor both ways. No one's been attracted by the sound of the doors opening or anything like that?
No one appears to be attracted by the sounds of the door opening.
Okay. Lyman, can you go and check that pedestal just down the corridor there and see if there's any more, see if there's another piece of jade in one of the pedestals?
No.
Okay.
Hang on. Does it look obvious that you are trying to use him as a human trap finder?
No, well, he may interpret that as the case, but that's certainly not actually to meet his plan. He's not expecting any traps along there. He's more just curious to see whether or not there's actually more spheres that we available to actually act as door openers. Or whether we've got to make certain we don't lose this one we've got. So
Plowman does so.
Okay. So you wander down to the left and see go to the pedestal. Looking at the pedestal, the spheres are missing. Someone has taken these spheres. But there is a half skeleton sprawled on the floor in front of the panel.
Searchy.
It's got the top half.
That might be the indication of crap, you know.
I am tough.
And the bottom half is pointing towards the door that is right next to it.
The door that's open or the door that's closed?
Well, the doors that shut. So basically, you walk in. To the right, around the corner, is a pedestal with the indentations, with stuff missing. On the ground next to it is a half body. That looks like it's being...
skeleton, right.
Which is half skeleton. Not a halfling, but a half skeleton. Looks like it's been there for a while.
Someone tried to stop the door with their body.
Yeah. Alright, I return.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so... Make certain we hold on to this jade sphere, don't lose it. So... Well, since there's obviously an immediate door that way,
yep,
I would suggest we actually try looking at the other door, the other corridor. So, but again, we'll leave Simply Red and our four locals back at this entranceway.
Yep.
And others might stay too, I don't know. But Dimitri will go down and have a look at the other corridor, both ways there. But we'll leave the sphere in that third pedestal to keep both doors open.
And you realise that the door only stays open for about 5 minutes before they automatically close.
Ah. Do I realise this? Well, I suppose I started to realise this, started to move, and I'd immediately come back, wouldn't I?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
They do take 5 rounds to close.
Right. So, but then as soon as the stone is removed and placed back in again,
or touched,
it resets the timer?
If you touch it, it opens the door again.
Right, okay. So...
And it stays open while someone's touching it, but a timer starts as soon as they let go.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I would suggest that yes, a few people, i.e., players who aren't here right now, can maintain contact with the sphere whilst we go and investigate down the corridor to see whether or not there's anything down there.
Okay, so...
People happy with that sort of plan?
The GM recommends not the halflings who can't quite reach it as well.
Does that mean I can't either? Because I'm 4'8".
It's about... The pillars are about 4 feet tall. So...
I can then.
At 4'8", it's not a problem, but the halflings sort of are awkward to try to grab.
He can reach it, but he's got to be reaching above his head and can't really see what he's holding to, or things like that. However,
yeah, no, I'll stay with Simply Red, and I'll maintain contact with the sphere.
Well, I was going to say it's quite easy that we've got the 4 local Ashcans also with us,
and Kiki as well.
So if Kiki and Simply Red stay with the 4 Ashcans, and that one of them is keeping a hand on it, then there's no real reason for any of the active PCs to be left behind. Not that we're going far with them anyway, it's just, looking down the corridor to find out what's there. So.
Okay, so coming down the corridor, you see. So, what light source are you providing?
So, like I say, Dimitri's still going with these dark vision goggles at the moment.
Unless you provide a light source, no one else can see. Because there is no light source besides anything you bring with you.
Does anybody else actually carry light normally?
Usually, yeah, absolutely.
I do.
I just try and avoid using it because I've got a major round.
Hey, Dimitri's never cast light.
I have the cantrip lights. Does that work?
That does work.
Yes, I mean, I believe it's normally the case that there's a light spell being cast on people's shields or something, but... Yeah. But as I say, Dimitri does not use light. As far as you can avoid it.
Okay, so as you are using a light spell to see by, you can see perfectly well when you come round, when you reach the T intersection, that to the right you can see what appears to be a rock fall with what appears to be 3 skeletons visible sticking out of the rock fall. And to the left you can see 2 more doors about 60 feet away with another pillar.
This place is a bit dangerous.
Just one pillar.
Another set of the 3 indentation pillars.
Oh, right.
So each pillar has basically 3 spots.
Can we see if there's any spheres in those pillars?
You can quite easily tell from here there are no spheres in those pillars.
Okay. And so, pile of rubble, does that mean like that the whole corridor's collapsed in that direction?
You think the corridor, as far as you can tell, the corridor has collapsed in that direction, but who knows what might be there. There's at least more than one skeleton that you can tell.
Right. So somebody was really unlucky in the fact they managed the corridor collapsed on them, which would possibly indicate the fact that it wasn't necessarily. It may not be a extensive collapse. It may be something easily on the other side, but. Dimitri will have a bit of a poke through the rubble and the rocks and see if we can get through to the other side easily enough. So he'll use his quarterstaff to stab through and see how deep the rubble goes.
Okay, so as you stab him with your quarterstaff, you feel something grab onto the end of your quarterstaff.
Okay, I will pull back on the quarterstaff.
A skeletal hand comes with it.
Smashy!
The staff or the hand?
The hand.
Okay.
Dimitri will back up and leave room for Plummet and Wave.
20.
It shatters.
Cool.
You sort of see a head pop up out of the hole. Okay.
Actually, no. I'll take a step back and see what it does.
It sort of seems to be looking for its hand.
That's handy.
And it seems to be stuck under the rocks.
We'll give it some
Skeletons aren't supposed to move by themselves, you know.
I have seen worse.
I'll stop that.
Hang on! Wait, let it be!
And then when it can't seem to find its hand, it lies back down again.
Look, normal skeleton, they get angry, they start attacking. This one not do that. It's very strange.
Well, it was still half buried.
Listen here, xenophobe. We need to find out what's going on here. This is very, very unusual. Yes, I know words like xenophobe.
Of course, they translate to completely different words when Dimitri hears them. Because Dimitri always interprets everything you say in his native language.
That's okay.
Which is when you use tongues, it makes things quite interesting. Because it's not exactly what you're saying, it's what you're intending.
Let's face it, I'm pretty certain the Keldar's got a word for xenophobe.
Ethingarian's not so much.
Yeah. The word for the Keldaran word for xenophobe is Keldaran.
They are afraid of just about everything.
Yeah. Anyway, it just lies down.
Yeah.
Dimitri will jab very harshly with his quarterstaff at the other foot that was poking out.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
No, actually, oh yeah, no, I've got quarterstaff there. 12.
Okay, you hit and you shatter the foot. And as the foot shatters, the rest of the leg just pulls itself into the rubble further.
I gently poke this other skeleton. I give it every chance to attack me.
Okay.
I wave my hand in front of its jaw.
Okay. You wave your hand in front of its jaw. It doesn't seem to react. You rolled a natural one.
I continue to wave my hand in front of its jaw. I do everything I can to provoke it to attack.
It opens its mouth.
I put the end of a javelin in its mouth.
Okay. It does nothing.
I'm dumb, but I'm not dumb.
Well, Dimitri, okay. I don't like the idea of animated skeletons being able to come from behind us. So, Dimitri is keen to keep digging through the rubble enough to ensure that as each bit of skeleton appears, it can be crushed.
It's just really, really strange behaviour for a skeleton.
You spend about 10 minutes, you realise that the rubble had pinned the skeletons in place, so they couldn't get up of their own accord.
And that's why I was happy. I'd clear enough to crush what was visible. It makes it a lot easier to kill skeletons if they can't attack back.
It does. They had very, very little hit points. They weren't very powerful, but you managed to destroy those skeletons.
Good.
And after...
I managed to get through the rubble to find out what's on the other side.
And basically you find a dead end at the other side, but you do find a bag full of stones.
Of stones? Or
Yep.
stone as in rubble?
Stones.
I will have a look in the bag and have a look at these stones.
They have about 6 jade spheres.
Very similar to the one that we left with the other guy back in that pedestal.
Look very identical. They all look to be the same weight, size, shape.
That will be handy then. Although a bit of even leaving the stone behind doesn't leave the doors open, does it?
It does not.
And there's no pedestal on the other side of the door we've come through to open them behind us, is there?
There is not. You do think it is possible with such a design like this to get to a point where there are no pedestals?
That's right. But we have got at least 6 non-playing NPCs/PCs at the present time.
You do. You can have a string of people who can get killed noiselessly in the background while you're doing stuff.
Absolutely. But hey, the doors go open until they get done.
So when you come across the door, you realise you've just lost someone.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll go back and let the others know that, okay, well, it looks like, actually, got a bag of 6 stones, plus the stone we had originally.
Yep.
Or things. Dimitri's going to play with the, come back to the entranceway, which had the 3 pedestals and the 2 doors.
Yep.
Ask Gerald to remove his hand from the one he was holding. So therefore, the two doors start closing.
Yep.
Demetra, wait for them to close, and then try putting a stone in each of the other pedestals.
Okay, so the doors...
While the original stone is still sitting in the first pedestal.
The doors start to open again. And without anyone touching it, they seem to stay open.
Mm-hmm. And so they stay open when there's 3 stones in the pedestal. Is that right?
As far as you can tell, yes. Or at least they stay open longer than you expected.
Yep. Okay. If I take away the stone that was in the third pedestal, the one that opened both doors, and wait for a while.
Well, they start to close as soon as you pull it out.
Okay. I will put that third pedestal one back in then, and take out one of the ones that was the first pedestal to the left-hand door.
Then that door starts to close.
Okay.
The 3-stone trap.
I bet he doesn't even know what to do with the 3 shells.
He probably does not. It would be such a bathroom trip with 3 jade stones.
Okay then, well, I guess for the time being, we'll leave a stone in each of the pedestals to keep the doors open, and come over and have a look at your half skeleton.
Yep.
Which again, we'll ensure he's not going to. So the bottom half, so it's only legs, so he might kick people if it starts to get everyone running, won't it?
I actually said it was the top half.
Oh, does it? Okay. Oh, that's much more dangerous then. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Dimitri will aim to smash up that skeleton before it starts moving.
Okay, it's quite well broken.
Good. And then, so now this has got 1 door, but again it's got 3 pedestals. Is that right?
It does, yes.
Well, we'll try putting a stone into one of the pedestals.
Okay, the door in front of you slides open.
If I take it out, it closes.
And you pull it out, it does close, yes.
Okay, if I put it into another pedestal.
Same door opens again.
And I take it out, closes.
It closes.
And in the third pedestal.
Same door opens.
And if we put a stone in each of the pedestals.
The door seems to stay open.
Okay. And on the other side of the door was?
On the other side of the door, you see the other half of the body.
Presumably it's this horde of marauding beasts that have just been standing there while I've been playing with the thing for 10 minutes going, open, close.
Okay, so the legs seem to be tapping impatiently while you're opening the door.
What does?
The legs on the other side.
Oh, okay, right. Hang on. Isn't the door 5 feet thick?
It is. I never said he got broken nicely.
I was going to say, he was really tall.
Well, it is, when the door does open, you do see it is more of a point when it comes in. So it would push him out. He was basically pushed out when it broke.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Not just squished in the doorway, so there's no pieces of him left in the doorway.
Yep. But beyond the tapping feet.
Beyond the tapping feet, you see the same pedestal opening to the right, and then the passageway curving off to the left, out of sight.
Okay.
Plumman's going to try and bring the legs and the body together.
Well, there's no body to bring
the
it
top
to.
half is somewhat powdery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Dimitri was not going to do anything of that, so... And he was planning on doing the same to the bottom half when it was still kicking around.
Yep.
When we went through.
It's going to be waiting a while.
Or in fact, actually no. You probably noticed that the first time, and so if they were kicking around and they started trying to crawl towards us, I was quite happy to let the door close on it again and see if we could crush it a few more times.
Okay, he gets caught in the door and just, dust just flies out as it gets caught.
While I've been playing, we've trying to work out with the stones work all the same way every time. So
That's a dick move, Jeremy.
hey, I was playing with the door to try and get it to make sure it was working. If he was trying to work a Great Wall Gus, that's not my fault.
Okay.
Well, again then, we'll leave 3 stones in the pedestal for the time being and take a look at the door, like the next set of pedestal there was a door off to the left or the right or something?
To the right, as soon as you... Basically, almost stepping through the door, there's one to the right.
Oh, okay. So maybe the if it's got another set of pedestals, they might be active on this door as well. Like they might be active on the 2 doors.
And you notice it actually has 3 stones in it. Well, no, 2 stones in it.
Oh, okay. But the door is closed and the door with the skeleton is currently open.
Yep.
So, well, I will try adding a 3rd stone to the pedestals.
Okay, you see the door in front of you slide open, and as it slides open, you see that there's a door behind it also sliding open. With basically a 10-foot wide room between both doors.
Okay. I will take a look into the room and make certain there's nothing else in the room.
And you hear a bit of a rumbling sound from the room in between the doors. You see bits of ceiling drop.
I will not enter the room at this stage and step back. Ready to take the sphere, well, certainly 1 and probably 3 spheres out of the room, out of the pedestals.
Okay, well, as you're watching, the room starts to fill up with rubble.
Oh, awesome. Shut down all the power to the trash compactors on the detention level.
It's very much a you're in that room, you get squished sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, yes, I will let the rubble fall for a bit.
Rubble starts to roll out of the room if you don't shut the doors.
And so if it keeps coming down, then yes, I will take the 3 stones away from the pedestal. So.
Okay, so as the rubble comes down, one of the pieces connects with the pedestal, and you hear a snapping sound.
Hey, that's big rubble.
It's not small rubble. The rubble pieces range from 1 foot to 10 feet in width.
Right. Yeah, okay. 10-foot rubble is something I'm not entirely certain I call that rubble still, but yeah, cool. Okay, do I manage to get effectively the 3 spheres back again?
You do have 3 spheres, so you've
and
now got an extra 2 that you didn't have normally.
Sorry?
You've now got an extra 2 you didn't have normally.
That's right, yes, exactly. The point, I've got 3 right now, and we've got 3 left at the first door and 3 left at the second door.
Yep.
So, and obviously the door in front of me is now closed.
The door in front of you is now closed. And you can hear a banging on the other side of the door with cracks appearing in the door.
That wasn't me.
It was.
I will take a look down the corridor turns off the other way.
Yep.
Take a look around the corner.
Okay, so you look around the corner, it continues on and turns both left and right. Just not at a T intersection.
Okay, I will move up a little bit further to the closest corner and have a look down that corridor.
Okay, it basically turns back on itself. And from that spot you can actually see around the other corner because it's not that hard to because they are that close.
Yep.
And here's a nice view of the map that you can sort of see.
Oh, okay, yep.
That gives you an idea of how much you've actually seen so far.
Yep. Okay.
And you came in here. Here's the ones you've got open, these two.
Yep.
This is the one that broke. You can see up there and down there. You've been around here, so you got the rubble here and another pedestal up there.
Okay then. So I took a look down that one. So now currently we've got 3 stones in our hand, and we've got 3 doors open.
Yep.
We've got the 2 at the start.
That is correct.
We'll go down the corridor, backtracking to look at there we've got another door with pedestals at the end.
Mm-hmm.
To see what's happening back that way. So basically, yeah. So we've got that first corridor. I look down, go down that, and immediately turn back onto ourselves.
Yep. So the one that's above where you were.
Yeah.
Okay. You find the 3 section pedestal there as well, and there are no stones in that one.
No stones in that one. Okay. I will put a stone in.
And the door slowly opens.
Okay. Anything on the other side?
Yes, a corridor that it's on the side of, so you can go left or right. And when you see to the left, it immediately seems to curve around back upon itself.
Okay. Oh, so basically, yeah, coming back into the room, like towards the spot where all the rubble will be falling.
With your knowledge, that's where you figure out how that goes. So you are basically here.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it will curve around that way and around that way.
Okay, so I'm figuring that yes, that one's going back into the rubble. That's fine. Yeah, we'll take a look around and notice the back side of the door that we saw from the rubble, like from the original rubble.
Yep.
And okay, but there was no pedestal there, was there?
There is a pedestal here on this side.
Yeah, but not on the side. If we go round from the top, there's no pedestal on that side. So it's a case of guessing. Yep. Okay, this should be the door that we saw from the other end.
I'll see if I can share that map with you guys, so it's a little easier.
So. But yeah, so at that stage there we've got effectively one door that we haven't been able to, we don't think we can see the other side of yet, because there was 2 at that one there, and we've got a corridor.
I've said it to David and Grace if Grace could stick it in Skype for Jeremy, because I'm on a different computer. So that way you guys each have a picture of it, and I'll send it to Stefan as well.
So but in the meantime, Dimitri will aim for grabbing the 3 spheres from the door that we're currently at, allowing it to close again, working out that seemed to be going to almost a dead end, but then backtracking back to the original entranceway, go down the right-hand corridor, past the rubble that had
That should make it easier for you, Jeremy.
Yep, that's right then. So basically heading back down to
9.
Yes. I'm not. The picture's too small for me to see numbers on it, but yep. Oh, okay, actually, I could probably go. Let me open image or something, will it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So heading back down to 9, and playing with the 1, 2, and then 3 spheres to see if we were going to open 9A and 9B.
Yep, so 9A and 9B both open if you put 3 spheres in.
Okay then, yep.
And that shows you an empty room with a hole in the side of it.
Okay. Have a bit of a look down the hole. Leaving the 3 spheres in the platform at this stage.
Yep.
Hey David.
Mm-hmm.
Which way do you want to go? Down the broken, the narrow tunnel, or follow the passage that has the big red arrows going past the big black skull? Which I'm sure we don't know anything about.
As a player?
I was talking to you as Dave, that's a player, yes.
Yep. As a player, I want to go through the shaft, through the makeshift tunnel. But as a ploughman, I definitely want to hit that skull.
Well, I'm sure that as Ploughman and Dimitri, we don't actually know about the skull and the red arrow, but as a player, I'm thinking, that looks like the way to go.
Yeah, look, Ploughman definitely wants to go check out what could potentially be a secret cavern. And is almost certainly going to be a blocked off entryway at the end there.
So as you come around the corner of that corridor, you see a 10-foot version of the same crystal skull you saw earlier.
Fuck! Fuck being here. For the first time in a very, very long time, you see Ploughman...
Nope, and walk away.
Not look in fear, but definitely miss a step. Ploughman looks to Dimitri.
The skull looks at Dimitri.
Dimitri looks at Dimitri.
That's Dimitri knows who. Dimitri's the one that knows who to be looking to find out the reactions.
Ploughman fails his illusion check.
Dimitri worked on the idea of, let's just gather up the spheres we left at what is it, number 4, as we backtrack, and let's look down the that narrow passage.
Okay, so you picked them up at 4.
So that was that in 3?
That was in 3, yes.
Yeah, cool.
So the idea is we've now got so we'll pick up the one. So we'll have 3 spheres with us.
Yep.
There's still 3 currently left at 1 and 3 left at 9.
Yep.
So as it turns out, neither David nor Ploughman wanted to see the skull. That will genuinely haunt me. Those skulls in Crystal Skull.
Yep.
I actually hated that movie, but the skulls freaked me the fuck out.
Don't worry, reading them, they were almost exactly the same as those skulls in that movie. And this was written way before that movie was.
I don't know what you're talking about. There were no crystal skulls in the 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Agreed. There is no... But I did see this one really shitty Harrison Ford movie. It had Shia LaBeouf in it as a kid. It was really, really dumb. But But the crystal skull in it was a bit creepy.
Yeah. Okay, so... So how big is this tunnel that we're going to be calling down or walking down or whatever?
Between 5 and 2 feet wide.
And is that high as well?
Yep. Between 5 and 2 feet high.
Right, so it's definitely calling most of the way. But hey, I think I like the idea of calling down a tunnel like that rather than calling into that skull.
Yeah, Plumman, who definitely hates enclosed spaces and isn't at all related to David in any way, has no concern about going and squeezing through this.
Playman has no concern. Playman can make a will save.
Going down the tunnel.
It's almost as bad as going in the crystal skull.
Yeah, okay. On the idea, okay, the fact that he can... Hey.
Wisdom. What's his wisdom?
9.
Plumman should be fine going through a narrow tunnel these days. I mean, he's half dwarf. Carrying well.
Jeremy, can you make a massive damage save, please?
You see Playman visibly shaking at the thought of going into the passageway. He hasn't been afraid of anything as far as you can tell up until now.
But he's happy to if it means not going to that skull. Because that skull scares him way more than this.
Dimitri will look at Plumman and say, "You want me to go first, huh?"
Plumman headbutts a rock, gets real angry but doesn't rage, and then just goes in.
Okay.
He's bleeding from the head. He's not concerned.
Okay, as you go in, the walls get tighter and tighter and
There you go, see, Dimitri's always willing to help with the psychology to help you overcome your fears. It's all good.
You're having to crawl on your hands and knees.
Yep, it's an ordeal. So is birthing horses. So is slaughtering much-loved horses. It's a terrible thing to do. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
So Plumman's got the light spell on him, has he?
No.
No.
He's crawling into darkness.
Makes it even worse.
Eventually, Playman gets to a point where he can't find the exit.
Dimitri will suggest to Little Miss, Little Miss, sorry, I'm thinking of Kiki. But Little Miss, that perhaps the light spell would be worth casting upon Plumman as he walks in, or calls in.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So therefore he's not calling into darkness, he's just calling into narrow.
No, but it is Star Trek Into Darkness.
Okay, so you have a choice of left or right in the passageway.
Left.
You go left? Okay. So, going left, you find yourself face into some rubble that just pushes out of the way. You're basically literally squeezing your head width through a hole.
As he went past the white option,
give me a escape roll.
You know, I'm going to go one roll before that. Plumman panics.
Yep. Plumman panics.
You start punching things.
You don't really have the room to punch.
Presumably he's punching and therefore squeezing his way through, pushing on an easy head through each other.
And you're hearing the hammer going, take a deep breath. Just relax. And you just imagine like one of those gurus at a health retreat.
Oh, he calms down. His sheer hatred of the hammer calms him down. Wow. Didn't expect that.
And so there you go. Doesn't that make you feel better?
He expends a rage and loses his fucking mind.
The hammer actually helped you.
Loses his mind, starts thrashing, punching, bashing, anything he can do to just get angry and painful and thrash and throw a tantrum. It takes the better part of 11 minutes for him to calm down.
Everyone sort of watches from everyone else's perspective, Playman has a tantrum. Because he can't really do much. He's sort of stuck in spot. And he just seems to be raging for no apparent reason. Because no one else heard the hammer.
Well, that was the second time.
But Martin, you're saying the fact
I was thinking that was the hit points that it was going to
Playman
lose,
had
but
the
let's
option
go
to
with
go
something
left
else
or
on that
right
one.
at one point and going down the passageway.
So, sorry.
Did Dimitri want to go right instead?
With his goggles, he's going to look right at least to find out what was there.
You can find the nest of 4 dead giant rats that have been look like that their bodies were someone had chewed the flesh off their bodies.
Right.
By the looks of things, it was a humanoid.
I was going to say, possibly a raging barbarian. Scared of the dark, scared of the
Blyman continues to rage and tantrum for another 13 minutes. Because he rolled a second one.
And I guess that then, so effectively, Plyman is blocking the tunnel ahead as he's going through a bit of a crisis of faith. Is that right?
He is, very much so. And the hammer says to him, "Why so angry? Why so serious?"
Oh wow, he immediately calms down. Just...
While he was raging then, Dimitri had a look through the rubble of the sort of dead rats and stuff and just said there's anything there.
And while that's happening, what is Little Miss doing, Grace?
Oh, I'm not doing anything particularly. I was just saying that, are you sure that that Whelm didn't say you mad, bro?
Yeah, Plyman immediately just calms down.
Yep, and everything just seems so much better now.
He backs up, turns right, continues on.
You back up and you run into Dimitri.
It's a dead end this way. Didn't you poke your head out into open space?
I thought you did.
You did, but you didn't go out.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, I would have said that if you started raging or started panicking, you would have actually pushed your way out into the open space to actually get out of the tunnel.
Oh no, there was no panic. It was so the first part was a mild panic. The second and third part was just extreme rage.
Yeah, but the idea being that rather than backing up into the narrow tunnel, I would have expected it was more likely you'd actually go out into the open space, even if it was unknown.
When he bulks up, he gets stronger, his muscles expand.
Yeah, he also immediately calmed down and went to go see if the other way was the right way. Turns out no, so he will continue forward.
Okay, it's a lot easier to get out now that you've widened it with your rage.
You're welcome. It's all part of the plan.
Okay, so yes, and you just sort of slide right on out.
Yep.
And you find yourself in a room with a pedestal in the center. It appears to be about 50 feet in diameter and about 10 foot tall. There's a flat stone pedestal 3 feet in diameter and 2 feet high in the rising from the center of the floor. 3-inch diameter jade spheres rest in indentations in the pedestal.
So are these bigger or smaller? If they're 3 inch, is that bigger or smaller than the ones we've got?
They are...
Or are they same size?
Sorry, 3... These ones are supposed to be smaller or larger. I'm just trying to check what the other ones were supposed to be. I think the other ones were supposed to be 1-inch jade stones.
Oh, okay.
I may have gotten the inch and feet wrong, but hey, metric versus imperial. Okay, where do I see the description of the spheres? They actually don't give a size of the other spheres. I just guessed.
Okay. Well, yeah, so it's more the idea of whether or not the spheres are a different size to what we've got.
They're supposed to be 3 sizes larger, so let's assume the other spheres were about 2 feet in diameter, and this one's about 3 feet in diameter.
Inches.
Inches. Inches, feet, they're similar, aren't they?
Sure. Virtually identical, yes.
Tons, kilos, same thing.
I'm sure no one's going to notice the difference.
If one goes into the other, that's all you need to know.
Okay, yeah, you can see. Okay, so apparently 14A is not listed on the map, but that's great to know. I think 14A represents the door that the arrow points at.
Okay, yeah. On the idea that it's not 14B.
Yeah.
Seems like a fair chance.
Okay, so yes, the room appears fairly empty. Besides that, and while you think about what you're doing, I'm just gonna, for no reason at all, look for a monster book and start looking through it.
Kind of makes why.
Dimitri's just going to be taking a look around. Obviously, the pedestal in the middle. Also, do a circuit of the walls to see if there's.
You've
do a circuit of the walls to see if there's anything else other than not so obviously found.
White dragon.
The room seems to be fairly smooth. It is well crafted.
Might just got a level 20 epic campaign book thing.
Terrasque. Not just Terrasque. Elder Terrasque.
You want an Elder Terrasque? I'm sure I can dig one of those up.
What could possibly go wrong? Anybody got Wish? I've got the app.
I wish I had an Elder Terrasque. Okay.
Wishmaster, be careful what you wish for.
Okay. What I should do is look up on my reference site to see exactly where the creature is I'm looking for. That will make things so much faster.
No. No, don't.
Or would I do something silly like that for
Yeah, no, don't worry about that.
Yeah, just because you've gone all the effort of getting onto your reference material, don't use it.
I know, I have days like that.
Look, what Jeremy is saying might make sense, but you've got to understand that it's Jeremy. The owner and player of the two most dickish characters I've ever met. And this is coming from a guy who has a character who tortured another character, tortured an NPC. Still not the biggest dick in the party.
Hey, look on the black side. You've only played with me 2 campaigns so far.
Don't worry, there are worse things that can happen.
What, a 3rd campaign?
Well, I expect
no, Jeremy's a DM. Welcome to all of the characters I've ever played. They are the only NPCs that you will encounter.
But look on the black side. If that was the case, there's at least two of the NPCs would not talk at all.
That is true.
Oh yeah, go on. Tell me more.
Sign language only. If you don't learn the sign language, he doesn't talk to you.
I mean, I don't have a single character that I play who would care. So, fantastic. That is a plus side.
Actually, no, that's not quite true in the sense that only one of the characters took the vow of silence. The other character was the one that the rest of the party was very glad when he stopped talking.
If only Dimitri could take a vow of silence. Uh-oh.
Well, that would be no use at all, because then he wouldn't have the opportunity to acknowledge the rest of the world.
Hey, speaking of acknowledging, Martin's just acknowledged a certain page where I can see some pictures that scare the shit out of me.
Oh good, something to look forward to.
That's okay, no crystal skulls here.
Okay, so basically having done the full circuit of the spherical room, or the circular room I should say, and the pedestal, found nothing of interest or any particular way of opening the 2 doors, we'll go back to the pedestal, which has got the 3 spheres in it.
It does.
And, well, we'll try touching one of the spheres.
Okay, as roll a d6.
5.
Okay, so as you go to touch it, you realize that sphere is an illusion. Nothing happens.
Okay, I will try touching another sphere.
Okay, roll a d4.
Plumman gets all of his weapons out ready.
3.
Okay, so this one seems to be solid. Nothing special seems to happen as you touch it. No doors open.
Okay, I will try touching the third sphere. Does the illusionary sphere stay there?
It does.
Okay, yep.
And boss battle.
The third bit says, "Oi, do you mind?"
Okay, so touch the third sphere, or in this based upon the dice rolls, the first sphere.
So as you touch the final sphere, your hand sticks to it.
Okay.
I mean,
I will try and take my hand away.
Okay.
Does the sphere come with it?
Well, give me a strength check.
I rolled a 10, so I think that gives me either 9 or 10.
Okay, so the sphere seems to be stronger than you are. You remember a time when you encountered a mimic?
Yeah. Yep, it was a total of 9, yes.
It feels like the same sort of stickiness of a mimic.
I pull a serrated dagger out.
Mimic sphere.
Okay.
Have you ever seen 120 Hours? Spoiler alert.
Whilst continuing to try and pull my hand off the third sphere,
Yep.
and obviously not getting successful at the present time, I will actually try and touch the second sphere again.
It does move a bit as you touch it, but you think you could easily pull it out.
I will grab it and pull it.
Yep. As you pull it, you hear a grinding noise as one of the far doors starts to open. Well, technically both doors start to open.
But it's the mimic as a key.
Okay.
No, the mimic's not the key.
Oh.
It's the other one. You have to pull the other one out and once you pulled it out, it started the doors opening.
That'd be amazing if one of the mimics was the key.
Fucking door. Yeah, it would be actually.
So you have to put the mimic in another place. It's like, I don't want to.
I will try and
Write
put
that
the
down for second boss battle. Thank you.
what amounts to the second sphere, place it back into position in its location. And again, I'm still trying to release my hand from the first one or the third one.
It clicks into place, and as it clicks into place, the door continues to open.
Okay. So can I remove it again? While I'm still trying to fight with
Give me a
my
strength
other
check. As you see, I'm Flamin' busily sharpening a dagger.
A serrated dagger.
hand. So,
This is with
a total of 1, but not natural.
Hey, so apparently this sphere is the only thing holding Dimitri up as Dimitri's panicking, trying to pull himself off the sphere.
Okay.
You hear the sound of a knife being sharpened in the background. Not creepy at all.
No.
And as the doors open fully, you see stepping in through each door what appears to be two medium-sized bone constructs made out of crystal.
I was about to say, with nice big crystal skull on the head.
The entire thing seems to be made out of crystal. It's a crystalline creature that looks like a bone golem.
Oh, lovely.
And they're both sort of staring at Dimitri right now.
Just confirming, but yeah, so the size of the head on the bone
20 on my hide
is
check.
not the size of the skull that was
I
in
am
the
not
corridor.
scared.
No, the skull in the corridor was bigger than they are.
Yeah, okay.
I am just the sound effects.
Now, Dimitri's certainly aiming to be around on the other side of the pedestal as much as possible between him and the golems. Whilst he continues to try and get away.
So could people give me an initiative roll to see how well we go?
17, Martin.
17 for Little Miss. That sounds fantastic. How about for Simply Red?
Yes.
nat 20. And
Gives him
let me
90.
just give me a second. I'll let you know.
Yep.
15 for Plumman.
15 for Plum.
Good thing he gets advantage on initiative rolls. Otherwise it would have been 4.
I got a non-natural 20.
And my dice
Wait,
is on
no.
the other end of the scale, and I got
So I've
21
got
total for
19.
my
What's your
initiative.
dex?
What did you get, Jeremy?
21.
21.
Oh, fuck all you guys.
As I said, I found the other end of my dice. Compared to try and getting my hand off the unstuck.
Oh, that is your initiative end of the dice, and then you've got your useful end of the dice.
Exactly, that's right.
What was
Simply
it?
Red got 23.
So Simply Red gets 2 actions, as everyone else is sort of staring at the crystalline creatures for a round as they stand in the doorway. What would Simply Red like to do in his first free round?
Boot to the head.
I think.
Holy shit. What? Plumman has tool proficiencies, vehicle, land.
Are they on like opposite ends of the room,
Oh,
or are they
right.
next
Okay.
to each other?
So if you look at the picture,
Actually, yes, yeah.
They're
just
coming
gets
from the
into
two
a tower.
doors.
Uh,
So by
they-
the time they get towards the pillar, they'll be close.
they are technically close to each other, but they're standing in each doorway.
They haven't started moving yet, is that right?
That is
If he's
correct.
acted fast? Yeah.
He gets two full rounds before they activate.
Which part of the room are we in?
Well, Dimitri's near the pedestal. I'm assuming others are
Hang on,
probably
hang on.
nearby, but
Sorry, let me rephrase. Which room are we in?
Room 14.
the big circle one.
Yeah, the big circle. Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to double check.
All good.
Yep.
So you have plenty of room to maneuver.
Squares. Yep. Because I'm just trying to get my head around how his sweeping attack works. I don't think they're going to be close enough to each other though. I think they've got to be 5 foot apart.
They're about 15
So I
feet
don't think
apart.
that's going to work. Yeah. Okay, I think I think that he'll be doing 2-weapon fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his usual thing that he does. He gets out his rapiers. And he gets
He's got rapiers.
yeah. So he gets 2 attacks plus an extra attack.
Yep.
Okay, that was a 13.
How much?
That
13.
was a 13 to hit.
13 misses.
Yeah, I thought it would. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a 26 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Nice.
I have to go get out the correct dice now, hang on.
Did you roll a natural 20?
No, it was a 19.
Okay, and his weapon crits on the 1920?
No.
If it's a rapier, or actually in 5th ed, I don't know they do that kind of thing, do they?
Some do,
Do
but
they do that in 5th ed?
I didn't think so. I think you can 5th ed is straight, 20 critical, 1 is bad, nothing in between.
normally yes.
I'll have a look.
Just looking up my rapier now.
Oh, I was going to say, particularly there might be special rules for being specialised in rapier and stuff might change
Yeah,
it.
true.
Yeah.
Where is my rapier? I know I've got it here somewhere. There it is. Rapier. No, it has to be a natural 20 to crit.
Yeah.
I do like Pathfinder with the if you beat the target number by 10, you crit. I think that's fantastic.
I really liked it. Yeah.
I don't know. The monsters, there's always more monsters that can roll more d20s.
There are. But if they don't beat the target number by 10, it's not a crit.
No, but the difference being the fact that when the monster gets a crit, it tends to have a lot more long-lasting impact on the party than when the party gets a crit. I.e. the monster dies and we move on. But when the monster gets a crit, PC dies and it's harder to move on.
So that was 11 damage, and he gets one more attack, I believe.
So 11, what sort of damage?
It'll be
Piercing.
Though I also have to ask, is it a magical weapon?
No, I don't believe it is.
So 11 damage, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a basic rapier.
How basic?
Very basic, apparently. So yes, he does seem to harm it, but he doesn't seem to be as effective as he expected.
Okay.
Alright, third attack.
That is 23.
23 is a hit.
Oh, and that's not 11 again. I rolled exactly the same damage.
Okay. Okay, so he hits it twice with a clang, clang each time. So like hitting a bell. Then he now gets to the start of round 2, and Simply Red gets to go.
Oh, okay, well he'll just keep hitting.
Like I did say, you got 2 full rounds before anything happened.
Yeah.
The advantage of getting an natural 20.
That was a 9. I assume that does not hit.
The 9 does not hit.
Does a 15 hit?
And a 15 just glances off the crystal. No damage.
No.
And that's a 25 to hit.
And that's a definite hit.
And that is 8 damage piercing.
Okay.
I'll let him down with my terrible rolling.
Then Dimitri's up. Dimitri can feel his hands start to dissolve. As he takes 2 points of acid damage.
You didn't need them anyway.
Okay.
As whatever that sphere is seems to be trying to eat your hand.
Well, I guess that gives more impetus to try and get it off. I will try again to see if I can pull away. But as I said, I'm also moved around, so I'm on the other side of the pedestal from the doorways at this stage, if I wasn't already.
That is all good. You would have done that last round as the doors were opening. So, give me a strength roll.
Total of 16.
Okay, there's this ripping sound as your hand comes away.
Oh, good. Well, obviously, yeah, the skin got a bit loosened.
As the hand comes away from the arm?
You take another 6 points of damage, leaving behind a couple of layers of skin.
Right.
So you got that sort of red hand look.
Yep, okay. Coming away, I will aim to take away the other stone that was actually did come off.
Yep.
I'll aim to take it away at the same time as I, then move and I'll back up away from the pedestal somewhat.
Okay, you collect the stone and back up.
Yep.
Raya! You see, Dimitri has seemed to hurt himself.
Cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So you're fighting this weird thing. Okay.
Simply Red is fighting one of the weird things. One of the weird things has not been taken on yet.
Whoa.
The crystalline...
Are we fighting these crystalline things and the sludge thing? Not sludge thing, the mimic thing?
Dimitri, it didn't come out. It was just...
Oh, okay.
Well,
I don't see it, then I don't see it.
Mimic, but the physical things that seemed to happen was there was glue on the basically he got stuck to it and he managed to pull himself away eventually. Whether or not it was because there was a living thing.
I don't know if magic will work on this crystal thing or not, but I will give it a go.
Okay.
Let's have a look at this page 271. So we need to roll a...
Which spell are you using?
Ray of Sickness.
And what does it cause?
Causes, poison damage.
Give me an Arcana roll.
Arcana roll. That's a 13.
The first thing you think is, I really should have paid attention to my studies.
Right, okay.
Hey, go ahead.
Alright. Make a ranged spell attack against the target, okay. Crying out loud. Can I use my reroll for the night?
You can use the reroll for tonight. So, Jeremy, that's what it looks like.
Oh, goody.
That was what was on the other page.
That's alright, that's fine.
So if you have a look at it, it's made up of little bits of armor.
That's
yes. I was thinking, that's why you were testing those mech noises earlier.
19?
A 19 to hit it?
Yep.
Okay, you hit it.
Cool. It takes 2d8 poison damage and must make Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
So 2d.
And what happens if it fails a Constitution saving throw?
If it fails, it's also poisoned till the end of my next turn.
Okay.
2d8. So it takes 8 poison damage.
Okay, you see the your spell strike it true,
Yep.
and then just slide right off onto the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't work. That was good to know, though. So, poison doesn't work. Don't
Does
do it.
Dimitri recognise the spell?
I think he does, yes.
You can just ask me if you want.
Well, it would more the idea is that if you recognise it's the sort of thing you're trying to do, you'd probably say, I'm pretty certain it's either undead, like a skeletal undead, or more likely a construct. I don't think it'd get poisoned.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Dimitri is the studious one, whereas Rai is not really a wizard. There are drawbacks to being not a wizard. One of them is study. Okay, so Rai has had his go. Little Miss to save the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna try Chaos Bolt, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What does Little Miss know about constructs? Give me a Arcana roll.
Oh, okay. Let's find out what she knows about constructs. She probably doesn't know much, honestly, but we'll see.
Good with cheese.
Look, if it didn't roll off the thing. Yeah, she doesn't know much. She got 11.
She probably thinks that Raya was right. Raya should have studied constructs for them.
and then why could have told me about them?
Jess, what do I need to know about your Chaos Bolt?
So Chaos Bolt is an evocation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking that. Yeah, it is. It's an evocation. So, do I need to do a skill check before I do it?
You do need to do a skill check to pull it off, unless, of course, you're using your dagger.
Yeah.
Because you can basically just take some power from the dagger and do it without a skill check.
You're right.
Of course, nothing really bad happens when you use the god's power, I'm sure.
They're happy to give it away freely.
Well, the gods seem to be allied with my god. I was kind of like, you can use this power, I'll help you out until this is all done.
Yep.
So she doesn't really have any reason not to trust him.
So you have the choice of casting as a native, which doesn't have a penalty, or casting a spell to make it more powerful.
Or casting it as yourself, but that means you've got to actually overcome the effects of the hollow world by doing the caster check.
I'm confused about what you mean by casting as a native.
If you do not cast something as a native, everything that's a native has advantage on saving throws. You have disadvantage on attack rolls.
And you've got to actually get the roll first.
And just by having the dagger and saying you're using the dagger as a semantic component of the spell, you can cast as a native. So everything is...
So what do you mean by cast something to make yourself stronger?
You'll do more damage if it goes through.
You can use it to basically bypass any chance of failure. Or other effects, such as if something would be immune to the effect, it's no longer immune to it.
Okay.
So specifically for you, you can change the damage type to lightning or thunder specifically. You can increase the damage dice. You can make it a god spell. Or you can bypass spell restrictions.
But not in the hollow world.
No, in hollow world.
No, that's it. Effectively, it helps you get past all the problems you get in the hollow world.
Artifacts are not subject to the hollow world limitations.
So it does both things.
Well, no, it does both, but you've got to choose which one you want to apply. Well, technically, you could try and apply both, but that's asking 2 favours from the gods at the time.
So the one that has no penalty to you whatsoever is to cast it as a native.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Everything else.
Okay, sorry for the confusion.
No, it's all good. It's because this is from the GM section, which I'd normally roll for you. I'm just giving you the idea of knowing what your as a player is installed for your character.
So I don't choose which of those things it does.
No, it gives you the option to choose it. I just do the effect for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'll cast it as a native.
Okay, so in that case, you just roll a d20 as normal, and it doesn't get any specific bonuses to its defense. When I believe the DC is 10 plus level of the spell, is that correct, Jeremy?
It's a spell attack roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just getting up the Hollow World. Where did I stick it? I've got it over here somewhere. Here we are. Okay, so getting the spell to work is 15 plus spell level.
But you don't need to do that because you're a native, isn't that right?
Everyone has to do it for revocation spells, but it means they don't get the bonuses on their save.
Of course, because natives don't actually normally cast revocation spells. Yeah.
But it does mean that the natives don't get advantage on saving throws or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So what did you get on your dice roll?
What am I rolling?
You're rolling a d20 and you're adding your arcana to the check.
Okay, so that's 11.
11 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you cast the spell, it doesn't seem to work. Your dagger asks if you need assistance.
Sure.
Okay, so you managed to, the spell seems to go off anyway.
Right.
Because the dagger can bypass those issues. It can only do it so many times per day though.
So Grace, on the player side of the house, what happened was the idea of when you went to cast a spell, because you're in the hollow world, normally if you didn't have the dagger at all, you'd have to do a caster check to try and make the spell work. And then if it worked, it wouldn't be very effective because the opponent, you're casting on a native and they're going to get advantage on saving throws and things like that. Or, with the dagger, you can cast it as a native, but that still means, because you're in the hollow world where it makes it more difficult, you still got to cast that, do that caster check, which is where you roll the 11, to make the spell go off. In your case, the spell didn't go off because you didn't roll high enough on your caster check. If it had gone off, then the creature wouldn't have been affected by not being a native, and you were non-native. So the spell would have worked just if it was up on the top world.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do your caster check. That's right, and because you didn't pass your caster check, you then had the option, the dagger gave the option of saying, hang on, I'm willing to boost it with a bit more immortal power to overcome the fact that, hey, you're having trouble in the hollow world. But the danger, because you affected that and it worked, that's great, but there was a danger that might have been some backlash from getting that immortal power flying through you. As a character, you don't necessarily know about the backlash.
Because it overcame the skill check, it's no longer considered a native spell.
No, it's still going to be a native spell, and you're going to do all the effects normally now.
It's still a native spell, and it goes off instead of failing.
Yeah. It's just that there was a chance, normally about between 5 and 15% chance, that something could have happened to Little Miss as a permanent penalty in that idea.
Yeah.
Martin rolled it, it all went off fine, you had no problem, it's all good.
Yeah, well, Little Miss dices with that all the time because she does wild magic. It's just Martin never does anything with it.
So, well, on this one here, Martin's likely to. But yeah, so what's the damage from your chaos spell?
Well, I still have to do a spell attack roll.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to figure out what the hell my
Your
spell attack bonus is.
Your spell attack bonus will be your tier bonus, which I think is it +4 now for characters?
Yes.
Plus your charisma modifier, I believe.
Yeah, proficiency bonus is still only +3.
Oh, +3.
Plus your attribute bonus, whether your charisma or intelligence, whatever it is used to cast your spells. That make sense, Grace?
Yeah. Sorry, it's because I was looking at the stat block, and stat blocks actually don't answer that question.
Okay. So what attribute do you use? What's your attribute bonus?
No, it's fine. I get +7.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay.
I found the character sheet. It's all good.
+7 would be fairly normal for these little characters.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I keep rolling 6s. That's 13.
Would you like to use one of the rerolls?
No.
There's only 2 and one's already been used.
I said no.
Okay. Just letting you know. Okay, so after that boost, the shot goes wild.
Yep.
Obviously, you're not quite used to having the god boost that boost to help it along. You know, it threw off your aim.
And you see it strike the wall with a bang. You can see a crack in the wall where you hit it.
Fair enough.
Oh, goody. More collapsing wounds.
I thought you'd like that, Jeremy. Okay, so Playman, you're finally up.
Well, that was an ordeal.
You see these 2 crystal skulls, just one of them's looking at you.
Dimitri got...
They're not skulls.
They're on top of bodies, but the skull's looking at him.
Dimitri got rid of his...
Yeah.
Potentially a mimic. Cool.
So Dimitri's backed away from the pedestal, and you've got Simply Red is actually poking at one of the crystal skeletons.
How far away are the
There's been a
skeletons?
couple spells go off at the
They would
see if
be
can
about-
effect.
40 feet from you.
That's the number I'm looking for.
You rush up. Smash. The one that Simply Red's going for? Or the other one?
May as well gang up on one.
Okay, you're getting up on one.
Can I place myself in a position where the other one can't get past? / provokes? Okay, all good.
They're too far away.
Yeah, that's all good.
But Simply Red is stopping one from entering the room. You can stop the other one from entering the room if you wish to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Well, 24.
24's a hit.
Yep. Sorry, 26.
It's okay, I'm just checking something for you.
Yeah, I've just done the reading. I did. So, what level of happiness is it?
Well, it's currently at Awakened. So it's +2.
Yeah, gotcha. Perfect.
And it asked if you'd like to do more damage.
The last time I asked Worm to do something, it aged me 10 years.
He'll
No.
give you as many dice as you like.
No, that's incorrect. Last time you asked Whelm to do something, a dagger disintegrated.
I challenged it, actually.
It accepted your challenge, it did something.
Yep.
Would you like another challenge?
No. Can I borrow some dice, Stefan?
Yes, please do.
Thank you.
Because it can give you up to 12 extra dice.
I'm not interested.
And I'm sure it'll have no impact on you whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm done with this thing. I just read the rules on Daylight. It's going as soon as possible. Nope, that's a
The
decent.
fact it doesn't like being up and you don't like being underground.
Yeah.
I know, that's quite amusing.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking disintegrating this thing if I have to. 20 damage.
20 damage? Okay.
Bludgeoning, magical.
It hits soundly. You think you've done more damage than simply stun and all its hits.
Gotcha.
Would you like to hit it again? Because I believe you have 2 attacks.
I do, in fact, actually. Thank you for reminding me.
As the hammer tells you. You should hit again.
Actually, it's even more than that. It was 22 damage.
Okay.
Thanks, Rage. 25 damage. 25 to hit.
Yes, 25 to hit is good.
Ooh, that's considerable. 26 damage.
That is quite. It's looking like it's got cracks going through it.
Good.
It has taken a pounding. And then it is the golem's go. The golem attacks Playman in return.
Can't imagine why.
What did Playman ever do to it?
Okay, so it hits an armor class of 20.
It just hits.
I need more d6s. That's okay, here is one.
I thought it was relatively obvious that was enraged. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
Okay, so it does 9 slashing damage
Mm-hmm.
and 6 necrotic damage.
Yep, stand by.
I'm going nuts.
How much necrotic damage?
It was 6 necrotic damage.
Thank you.
Ariane just asking if we can turn off the Xbox in the lounge. Okay, so it has a second attack.
They're painted with a colour I can no longer find.
Hitting armor class 22, so that's definitely a hit. Dealing 7 slashing damage
Yes.
and 5 necrotic damage. What colour are you looking for?
It's that super dark green.
You're looking for a dark green?
Yeah, I could have sworn it was like in one of these, and I just can't believe
Give me a sec. After the other one attacks Simply Red.
Fine, right.
So it gets a 19 to hit Simply Red.
Seems a bit
And a 16 on the second attack.
Unless it wasn't
Okay,
green I used and I thought it was a green like this blue or something.
Both will hit. He will do a reaction of parry for one of them.
Yep.
So, parry allows him to use a superiority die to reduce the damage on one attack.
Okay, so
I guess he'll parry the first attack.
does he get to choose after or before he's told?
What do you mean?
We'll go with after. That way you can choose which one.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it just reduces damage. It doesn't affect hit.
Yeah, no, but kind of the fact that does it reduce damage by a certain amount or by half or anything like that? Because if you knew how much damage you were taking...
He rolls a die and adds 3. It's a flat amount.
Yeah, okay, we won't make any difference then.
Okay, so on the first one it does... yeah, definitely the one to do it on, as it does 17 slash... No, not 17, 14 slashing damage.
So that becomes 8.
And it also does 7 necrotic damage with the same hit.
Yep.
If you had reduced the slashing damage to 0, you wouldn't have taken the necrotic damage. So the second attack does 5 slashing damage.
Yep.
And 4 necrotic damage.
Yep.
And just reminders
so,
from...
my math is right, that's 24 damage, yeah?
I think so, roughly. And
Yeah, because with the 8 you do it, yeah.
he was already sitting on 47 damage.
Okay.
Little Miss should have been sitting on 57 damage. Raya should have been on 49 damage from last session. Which hasn't
Damage
been...
or health?
Damage.
Hang on. So he was on 47 damage, so he only had 13 health. Is that what you're saying?
All I kept track of was how much damage he'd taken.
Okay, looking at the picture, I thought it looked like it was only about half damage, but...
I hadn't actually put that in there because I think I had to redo some of the stuff on that. I don't think I'd done that.
Right, so I think we also needed to update Rhea's max health.
Yeah, I had to update everyone's max health because it was different, because I got him down as out of 55.
For Rhea?
No, for Nasty.
Yep.
I had him down, and Rhea I had down as 44, so...
I'm at 57.
I'd forgotten to get everyone's hit points and update it before the game.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll try to do it before next game.
So what you're saying is he's down?
I was going to say, so, yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying, yes.
57.
He certainly was heavily damaged previously. I thought he got healed back some. I didn't know how much he got healed back.
Well, he would have at least done a second wind.
Yep.
Give him a second wind. I have no problems with that because he would have done that between now and
I
he
don't
got.
think it'll make a difference because I don't think it'll make a difference because you're saying he's only got 13 HP.
But he could have done the second wind before entering the room. Is what I was getting at.
But even if he does, I don't think that'll be enough.
Okay. So he's unconscious. He's down.
He's unconscious then and down.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on 8 down.
But it's full attacks. Then it is Dimitri's go. And Simply Red changes his initiative to before the golems.
Dimitri will... So, one of them is fairly heavily damaged at the moment, and one is not so much damage at all.
And he's no longer held at bay by the halfling.
Yeah. Dimitri will go for a magic missile at the one that Plumman's on to try and take out the damage one. So, Arcana check of...
So does Does Dimitri wish to use the power of his gem to enhance his spell?
Dimitri doesn't need to call upon such things. Arcana check of 19.
Okay, I believe that gets through because Magic Missile is a first level spell and the DC was 16.
Yep. And so then it is. Eight, 11 points of magical force damage.
Okay, 11 points. Okay. It looks like you brought it to the brink of destruction.
Damn it.
I.e., you left at 1 hit point.
Oh, well, I didn't want to kill still from.
Okay, Rhea.
Martin.
Yep.
Sorry, Martin. Can I just ask, how much did you say Little Miss is on?
Little Miss had taken last session, 57 damage.
Little Miss?
That means I shouldn't be conscious.
That's okay.
Because my max is 50.
I have no idea why I've got 57 down. It might have been what took you down. So,
yes, I did go down.
I don't think I listed the healing that you took, so... Because I believe you got healed at the end of the session.
I have no memory.
I have no memory of that either.
Emrys thinks he was on 21 HP, not 13, so he obviously got healed about 6.
If
So
that's,
I guess I'll be on about the same?
yeah, I believe you'd be on 6 as well then.
Right.
That sounds about right because everyone, I think you did an area heal.
I don't have heal.
No,
I'm not a heal person.
Mark does.
Mark does though.
Mark did an area heal at the end of last session.
Right.
But it wasn't a strong heal, it was just, here's a tiny little bit of health.
Yeah, so he got some people up with the heal and then he'll top people up a little bit. And because we're being chased, we had to kind of keep going.
You didn't have time to sit down and work on it though. She could have done it in the meantime, but she's been, busy.
Yeah. Too busy doing her hair.
Well, you got to remember also that, hey, it's not like Dimitri will pay attention to other people getting damaged. So if people don't speak up and say, hey, look, we've got to stop.
You are pushing ahead. Okay. So then that brings us to Rhea. What is Rhea doing?
I would like to do Chill Touch.
3 necrotic damage?
Yep.
Okay.
Double checking the page. Am I doing the right thing? From memory, it is just a normal ranged spell attack. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. I'm pretty sure it's not going to hit anyway.
What did you get?
That would be a 14?
The 14 is close.
Yeah.
Goes right past.
Yeah. Is that an 8? Yeah, it is. So that's, yep, so 14.
Okay. You could use a reroll, there's one left.
No. It's just a cantrip, it doesn't reroll.
Okay.
Well, and particularly I wouldn't have said that using rerolls on attacks probably not the ideal unless someone's about to die from it. Using rerolls when you fail your saves is more worthwhile.
It is true. Okay. Little Miss is up.
Yep. She's not very helpful at the moment. I'm going to... How far away from me is the golem?
I think both of them are about 30 to 40 feet from you.
assuming you were standing around the centre of the room initially. So,
So I guess I'll have to move closer
Yep.
to one of them. Actually,
if you're badly damaged, you may not want to get in melee range of them.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna go to 20 feet,
Yep.
and I'm gonna attempt. When I spoke to the god, and he said all my spells would work correctly, he said all of them, didn't he?
As long as you use the dagger.
But
Yeah.
also, you meant the fact that you had access to spells greater than second level too, if you're a clerical type.
That is correct as
No,
well.
I'm not.
No. In which case, then, yeah, he can currently help you casting any spell.
Yeah, okay. So I'll move to 20 feet, and I'll use a sorcery point to do distance spell and
Yep.
cast Shadow Forward. So, it's a cantrip, it's verbal and somatic, and you summon a spike of shadow that attempts to stab and push a creature within range. So it's a melee spell attack roll.
What school?
Conjuration.
Okay.
Like, probably not going to work.
And
Unless
you
you use the dagger.
Yeah. And using
I
the
am
dagger.
using the dagger.
And the
That's why I asked the question about when he said he could help with all spells, right?
so the dagger glows as it puts more power into your spell, and something that wouldn't normally happen happens.
Oh, this isn't going to backfire on all of us.
Well, no, she wouldn't normally happen. You wouldn't normally get the spell at all, but
Yeah,
the spell will work.
Yeah, I dare say the universe is going to fuck us on that one.
Oh, we are in Hollow World.
So it's a melee spell attack roll.
Yep. Is this in the player's handbook or Zenithar's?
It's one of those ones from the Compendium of Forgotten Secrets.
Okay. In which case, what damage does it do?
2d6 of piercing. And it shoves 5 feet away from me.
Okay, so as you do this, you feel a presence enter the room. As you summon the an avatar of the Grim Reaper.
Hey, conjuration spells do work.
So instead of a spike of shadow, an avatar of the Grim Reaper shows up.
Yep. The god you're up against.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's not great.
That's the opposite of great. Turns out I was right. This came back to bite us in the ass.
What happens?
Which one are you sending it against?
The one near the downed guy. The one near red.
Okay. It swings its hand out, and you see a scythe just grow out of its hand, made out of what appears to be pure darkness.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
And it basically runs at the golem, swinging it in so fast you don't even see it connect.
Does it then go further forward and not look back and then think
Very much
stuff
so.
in half? Anime death.
And then it turns around and looks at Blayman.
Nani?
Sorry, what was that? You cut out.
It then turns around and looks at Blayman.
Oh, fuck.
So it killed the enemy that you pointed at, but it hasn't stopped.
Did it actually kill it?
It
Did
did.
it actually kill it?
It fell over and just crumbled.
Your spell was much, much more powerful than you thought it would be. Unfortunately, it's also not stopping.
What is dead cannot
And
die.
that avatar that appeared,
Yep.
I know that that's not an avatar of Simarak, don't I?
You know it's an avatar of the god you're up against.
Yeah.
You have
Okay,
to-
so that's very obvious to me.
It is very obvious to you. And everyone else.
Well, she's
Hang on a
got-
sec. Okay.
Everyone knows the Natos.
No, I wasn't doing a knowledge check. I was doing a shitting my pants check.
Okay, so then it is Playman's go. There's one in front of you still.
Does it disappear again?
No,
Run, Playman, run.
So the avatar's still there.
No.
the avatar is still there.
Oh, I'm not going nowhere. This is an opportunity to kill a god.
The
No.
avatar of a god.
Close enough.
Going for the golem or the god?
The god.
The golem's almost dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the golem that's still left is the one that I only didn't kill.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
want
if he
I didn't
goes
want
for
to kill Steel.
if he goes for the avatar, the golem does get an attack of opportunity.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
You have to leave this thread in space.
I was going to ask that, yeah.
But you can attack it once and then move and attack the
Yeah, that's
god.
what I was thinking. Yeah, right, let's do that. Ooh, I foresee a conflict of dealing with Whelm.
You could ask Whelm for power and kill this avatar.
Hey, there's a fair chance Will might do it because hey, it's Thanatos.
Whelm might be like, I don't like this guy, let's wreck some shit.
Anyway, I'll blow this knobhead over. Maybe I won't. I knew that was going to happen when I said that.
You get it, yep.
15 to hit.
15. It glances off, doing no damage.
Yeah.
That was the one off.
Huh?
It was 1 point off.
Oh, good news. 17.
17. You collect with the next one and it just shatters. No need to roll damage because it had 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So yes, 2 swings and it's down.
From the ashes of this thing falling down, Plumman emerges and stares down this knobhead.
Or stares up.
Whatever.
Death is, at least 10 feet tall.
We try again. Make sure. Yep. Plumman does not blink.
Okay. And then it is simply Red's death saving throw.
-2 tight to mention.
Cameron's steering contest game is strong.
I really wish you guys knew more Simply Red songs because I have so many puns. I was forced to listen to a lot of Simply Red as a child.
That was 17, Martin.
So that is a success.
Yes, I love.
So, what would Jeremy like to do?
Do you have a nuke spell?
I was about to say no one's actually near at the moment, is there? But Simply Red is at his feet, effectively, isn't it?
Very much so.
And dying.
And considering it is the Grim Reaper, you know what it's going to do on its action.
Mm.
Like it's never reached before.
Reap the impossible dream. Of killing Nasty Stump, the one true goal of the universe.
Hey, fair enough too, really.
Yeah.
I believe we already killed Nasty, now it's Simply Red.
It's all the same. Same, but different.
Actually, Simply Red was quite the leader.
It sounds like it's gonna give a whole, boss spiel. I killed the old you, now I killed the current you.
I was very
don't
tempted
think
to
I've got
taunt it,
any
but I figured that was
spells that are going
probably
to do
pushing
much
things
to him.
Don't be a bitch, cast Disintegrate.
Not really an option for Dimitri.
Dimitri's a bitch because he doesn't cast Disintegrate.
Unfortunately, he multitasked into Rogue.
Where is the warrior in you?
Well, that's just it. He spent too many levels of non-arcane.
So basically what you're saying is you're not nerdy enough.
Well, no. He had to ensure that he was not obviously a wizard.
Undercover nerd.
Okay. Let's see what Yen can do against Thanatos. We'll try and we'll see if we can blind the Avatar of Death.
Okay.
So using the gem.
Talking about a guy that probably has true sight.
Yeah,
Sure, like my poison damage is hilarious, but blinding death, sure.
Let's see what happens. So aiming to go hold up Yem's diamond.
Yep.
To cast the beam of light directly at Death.
Death. And which spell are you using?
No, actually the gem itself.
Blind. Okay, so trying to blind him.
Like the power of the gem that says a brilliant beam of light at one creature 60 feet of you. Creature must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or become blinded for 1 minute.
Okay.
And it gets to repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success.
Okay, so you shoot the beam of light out at Death. And you notice the beam just seems to absorb into the body.
Okay.
Oh, breakfast. Thank you.
Okay, so that is Dimitri's action.
I will then move further away and give myself more space.
You don't want to run through into the room 15. Because it was in the passageway for the skull.
True. But at this stage I will keep moving back, so basically aiming to be towards the northern end of the northern, or the top end of the circle.
Okay, so Rhea, you're up.
Great. This can only end badly. Because I only have necrotic and poison damage, which I'm sure Death is going to like, what is this? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the exit?
Oh, you almost killed the golems.
Yeah, I guess I could try the golems, but my damage...
No, the golems are both down now. But you almost healed one of them.
I almost healed one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Rhea may not be the most studious as some other mentionables here, but I'm fairly certain that using necrotic damage on Death is a really stupid idea. So, I'm just gonna...
Run?
Yeah.
And leave Nasty to his...
Are you fucking serious?
I have literally nothing else I can do.
Throw a rock at it.
I suppose I could throw a dagger at it.
Surely you've got a crossbow.
Oh.
Fuck.
No, actually, I might.
You can mark, isn't it?
I believe this version is the sorcerer, isn't it? Or should we say wizard?
Harry. Apparently now I'm trained in them just to have a crossbow right now. That's weird. I thought you'd have a crossbow. Oh well. It's not on my sheet, so... I will pick up a rock and throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Because... Yay.
As suggested.
As suggested.
Really? Okay.
I have nothing else to do!
Come on,
literally.
give us a critical. Give us a critical.
Well, there is this rock in the middle of the pedestal.
One.
Hang on a second. Didn't high level spells...
Wait, can we rancor him? Can we rancor this death parrot?
Shut the door on him? Well, the doors haven't shut since they opened.
And I did take the the sphere away. So, but yes, it didn't seem to make any difference
Okay.
after the door could open.
And high level spells don't work, do they?
Most of them do, yes.
Oh, they do.
It's just they didn't work for a
For
while.
the sorcerers, they do.
For sorcerers, they do, yes.
So what level and above do they work?
Sorcerer had no impact. Like any of the spells normally worked.
Was
It's just that in the Hollow World, you may have had other problems. Because different spells have different problems in the Hollow World, irrespective of level.
Okay, so but for sorcerer, all my spells work.
Yeah,
Technically,
you
yes.
didn't lose any
They
spells
don't
every
have a
time.
level restriction.
Well, then why did we have to cross out half of our stuff?
It's not about the level of the spell, it's about whether or not it'll work unaided.
Yeah.
So you've got to do your skill checks, plus some stuff like divination just won't work here without assistance from a god.
Right. Okay.
But you're not tapped by level. You can attempt any spell.
And
You
you
don't
do,
define spells that were effective for level.
and I believe Rhea has Redrian staff.
Yes, I do. What? So I
So
can
you
use
can
I
call
can
upon
use
God
that
power
as
too.
a focus.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a disintegrate.
Nope, I'm not going to disintegrate.
Boo.
I don't have it. But I have something else. That might
It also
help.
does fireball.
I didn't know it did fireball.
We do now.
We don't want fireball.
Yes. Dimitri specifically didn't use Fireball.
Yeah, there's a guy at the front who actually has a large amount of hit points.
And you can pour power into any spell, adding 1 dice per point you pour into it.
1 dice per point.
Mhm.
And how much power? What's the cost of this? Or do I just not know?
You don't know. You've never known.
Well, it looks like we're in dire straits, so I will attempt to put a power into this. Right, so what am I rolling for this power detrimental?
Well, firstly,
death?
what spell are you using?
Slow
Slow.
on this Avatar of Death.
Mm-hmm.
It's on page 277 of the core.
Of the core book.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure I get the right book.
Sorry,
Is it-
player's handbook. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I tried picking up the monster book, which it wasn't in. For some strange reason, it wasn't in the monster book. Why would that be, you'd say?
I'm also using a. Oh, what is it?
Okay, so...
It's not that.
You want to guarantee it works on death?
I would like to.
Okay.
It's going to probably bite me in the ass 20-fold, but there you go.
Okay, the staff lights up with a brilliant red glow.
Okay.
The equivalent of Gandalf versus the Balrog.
Yep. I'm going to use a meta magic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Extend duration. So it doubles the duration of this spell. Alright. Yours time. Succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Do I have to roll anything?
No, it rolls.
Okay.
Okay, so you see the spell fly. You feel yourself feel weakened by it momentarily as more power flows out of you than you've ever done before.
Creepy. Okay.
Your brilliant summer comes down to like a dull day.
Yep.
Your color basically bleaches from you as you do it for a moment. As you seem to hit death with the spell and hold him in place.
Okay.
You slow time in his location
Oh wow.
while you concentrate.
It says concentration up to 1 minute, so 2 minutes in this case. And I can't remember how many rounds is in a.
If we're fighting it for 2 minutes, we need to run.
Or I can give you 2 minutes to escape.
Nah. Yeah, that's not happening. The whole running thing, while it's fantastic.
So you all scoop up nasty, or red as we say.
I'm
We're
sorry.
Still in initiative.
Did you say we scoop? Because if you guys are leaving, Barman's fighting this thing on his own.
I got the impression the plumber was going to go for a hit while Death was standing there.
If you, Rhea would be able to tell you that the area that is slowed is around Death. So if you go up to fight Death, you will be waiting until he drops a spell.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Well, yeah, no, cool. We can scoop Nasty up and maybe do him some yearly goodness or something, but, I mean...
Well, I would suggest that we can go through the door and hope it closes behind us, leaving Death behind.
Yeah, because Death can't go through walls or doors, can he?
No, but for 2 minutes, he's going to be here. As long as I'm here.
Okay, so Jeremy, in this
Well,
room...
assuming you'll come through the door with us.
And you can keep concentrating.
It's a range of 120 feet, and I need to be able to see him. So...
No, only to cast it.
That's right. Once you cast it, you can still concentrate on holding him there.
Can you?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
You've hit the target's been held by it.
Oh,
You can then run
Oh,
away.
well, also, yeah, that's probably not how it might normally work, but hey, you've got God on your side at the moment.
Right, okay. Alright, well then I guess we would...
Pity it wasn't the god of time, otherwise even more hilarity would have happened.
Fair enough.
Okay, so, Jeremy, in this room you see there is a door leading out of this room, and the platform that the sphere form here needs the 3-inch jade sphere instead of the usual 2-inch ones.
Armin was getting ready to sacrifice his firstborn.
Oh, goody. So we're not going to be able to... and the door is closed at the moment?
It is closed at the moment.
One of many.
The...
You just have listed the names just in case.
Dimitri will put
He would
the
have sacrificed Regine to kill that thing.
sphere into the pedestal.
As you put the sphere into the pedestal, the door to room 14 starts to close as the other door starts to open.
Cool.
So the door... Go ahead, Grace.
While he's doing that, Martin,
Yep.
like, seeing as we're not technically in the initiative, I'd like to use an action to stabilize our friend.
Yep. I'm assuming that is being done. You spend an action while they're playing with the pedestal, and you stabilize Red, so Red doesn't have to make any more saving throws.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is very good. I was hoping someone would say that.
Well, I see him Plumman's carrying him.
And then once the door is shut and the other one's opened, you lift up the sphere to take it with you when you leave, Jeremy?
I will hurry the others down the stairs.
Yep.
And then try to keep track if our Alagin mentioned that we had about 2 minutes probably to try and hold. Dimitri will probably keep that in mind, and then as he once the others have gone down, he'll grab the sphere and run through the corridor, run through the door down the stairs.
Okay. Okay, so we shall end it tonight with you running away from death and heading deeper into the pyramid.
Assuming that as soon as the sphere comes out, the door to the stairs at least is closing. Is that right?
It is as well, yes.
Yeah. Did the door to the circular room start opening?
It did not.
Oh, good. Well, that's good then. Because I'm sure Death can't go through doors. That's all right.
Maybe he can't use door handles.
Well, these don't have door handles anyway, so it's all okay.
So yes, you have successfully managed to clear level 2 without dying.
Mostly.
And summon death without dying.
Yeah, don't do that again, little miss.
I didn't know it was going to do that. It's not like I was doing necrotic damage or anything.
I dare say I may have prompted that slightly. So Plumman was actually getting ready to sacrifice his firstborn son to fight death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was one thing he was keeping in his back pocket.
Yeah. He wouldn't have sacrificed one of his horses.
Actually, he was seriously considering sacrificing Regem, his number 1 horse, just so he could say that he killed an Avatar of Death.
Okay, so as you're retreating, Little Miss hears the dagger speaks to her for a moment, saying, "Why were you using me to use one of Thanatos' spells? Summoning spells?"
How was it one of Thanatos' spells?
Nothing to see here.
Apparently, whoever taught you was a servant of Thanatos. Whoever taught you that magic.
I didn't realize that. How is that the case?
He's an evil creature who likes to torment and corrupt everyone everywhere. So whoever taught you did it in the hopes that you would corrupt and serve Thanatos in the end.
Well, I'm not going to do that
Very
because
glad I can't
I
hear this.
follow temporarily you and then follow Krotiku.
Totally follow that guy.
Where my loyalty lies.
Yeah, you have this gratefulness coming from this dagger that you don't want to keep using such magic. It says, beware of those who teach you, because they may not all be meaning you well.
Do you know how I can tell which spells are not okay?
Just keep casting them anyway. Well, if they summon the Avatar of Death, I'd probably say that's probably a bad spell.
Well, yeah, obviously, but what if I have other ones that are as well? Is there a way I can tell without having that happen?
Well, you can tell me what the spell is and we can go through it and try to figure it out. So it's happy to sit down and discuss it when you have more time.
Yeah, when we're not actively running away.
Not actively running for your life.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really sorry that I done did that. I don't want to do that anymore.
It was
She's
interesting.
genuinely horrified. She is genuinely horrified that she would be using something that's so against Korotiku and, at the moment, Simurak.
It says, well, considering how much power went into that summoning spell, I don't think the Avatar has gone.
Hence the running.
Yeah. I don't think it has a time limit. I think it's there until you defeat it.
Is that the
Oh,
Avatar?
goody.
Does that mean it's just going to keep chasing us?
Yes.
Well,
Is that where I yell, "Come! I can't keep death sealed much longer."
So this is the point where we end the game with Little Miss turning to you guys in horror and going, "But guys."
Guess what I did? You know what I did last summer?
and you know what Dimitri's immediate reaction is going to be when you talk about that?
What?
These things are powerful. Don't use them without thought.
You mean he doesn't say he should have talked to me first?
She's going to give you guys an edited version. She's not going to be like, "Oh yeah, so you know, someone taught me magic and they're trying to corrupt me to the dark side." She's just going to be like, "So that thing isn't going to disappear till we kill it, and I won't be doing that again. I'm really sorry, guys."
Well, Plumman's excited.
Yeah, she's still got a chance to take on death.
And depending on how long, how quickly we can move on, right now he's got the advantage of coming down from the upstairs for us.
Yeah, so anyway,
But
So my
we're
next
leaving
character
there.
that I'm going to roll, Climbing Reynolds.
Yeah. Getting him ready for next session, are we?
Yeah, up 100% now.
That's great.
Okay.
Good old Climbing Reynolds, love him.
Okay. Well, good night all. Thanks very much.
No, Jeremy.
Good night, all.
Night.
Thanks,
He's a
mate.
monk
Thanks
barbarian.
all. Catch you
Nice.
next week or the week after.
I shall do so. I'm going to put it on end credits now. So, good night, all.
Stay safe.
night.
Good night.